All right, all right. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show, the most anticipated show Saturday nights here on YouTube. We are Outside the Box Live, and let me see. Is it? Yes, we are on Instagram. I figured out what I did wrong last week. You have to paste like the stream key, and I thought it saved it. So last week I didn't have but I figured out what I did this time. So we are now on Instagram today too. Back as always to my let's see, hold on, and sorry for the lateness, guys.
It was my fault. Most things are.
All right, we got FP back too. So on the bottom we got the false paranormal guy. Right above him we got Marshall Mikey and the crewman guy. To my right,
stupid ass broken tripod. Gotta sit like this.
To my right, we got the GM. I am your host with the most as always. And tonight, again, I figured out what I did wrong with Instagram, so hopefully I fixed it. Because I have to do it every week this way, but hey, that's okay. Now, the QR code on the top, if you want to buy me a chili dog, there you go, baby. Because I don't do coffee. Or hot chocolate. We'll do either way. So, okay, so kicking it off tonight. We have 4 people already watching. Thank you. And again, we're sorry we're a little bit late. Again, if something doesn't technically happen, it's not the show. But we are here now for your viewing pleasure. Shout out to Jancy and Belligan. They always watch. I spoke to him today a little while ago. And I'm in the process of working on. Today, I tried the Krabby Patty from Wendy's.
Oh no!
What did you think, Jay? How was it?
Gina, couldn't hear you. Oh, Gina.
Yes.
Your volume kind of sounds 10 million miles away, not like before.
I had to turn my mic off because it was echoing with mics.
Oh, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Turn it back on.
All right, I put it back on.
No, I'm not hearing any reverb. No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I was hearing an echo before.
It's the echo's local to you and I.
Yeah, it's like
Because
slight at the end. It's very minor.
Not even.
It's like you could.
It's like being at a football stadium.
Yeah, but
it's the slightest bit of a slapback right. Delay, but otherwise it's okay.
Like,
slap
back, slapping in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. So, actually, yeah. So I broke down today. Everybody, I see on YouTube, everybody's reviewing the Krabby Patty. So I'm like, you know what? I was out and about. I was passing Wendy's. I'm like, let's do it up. And actually, I mean, it just tastes like one of their like Dave's burgers, like Dave's singles, doubles. The only thing is, instead of using mayonnaise, it tastes like a Thousand Island based, and it actually tasted better than the regular ones. I actually like this one better. Now I know Marcus. What up, Susan? Thanks for hanging with us. And I know last week or the week before, Marcus said like it was like the sauce was bad. Like he didn't like the sauce.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really good because it almost tastes like a Thousand Island. Oh, there he is. Just talking about you there, Marcus. I was just literally talking about you. It's we're talking about the Krabby Patty meal. I had it today, and actually the sauce I actually kind of liked. It was like almost like a Thousand Island base. So yeah. So the pineapple frosty was different. I liked it. It's pretty good. Let's see. So actually, before guys and gals, again, thank you. We're at a quick 12. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are here now. We are on with. I want to welcome all our Instagram followers. Thank you very much. Appreciated. And before we came on live, we were talking, and the crewman down there had had something unique to talk about. Take it away there, Grumman.
Sure. Yeah, so my wife and I were out shopping last night, and okay, so today's November 9th, and they're playing Christmas music like everywhere we went. So I just thought, is it too early to start with the Christmas music, or is everybody cool with it? I don't know. I mean, I don't mind personally. It just seems a little early, to go to the mall and hear like
Start Christmas
Billy
shopping.
Clarkson and all the Christmas songs. I was just like, I'm just not in the spirit. But I guess that's the point. I guess they want to have the music everywhere, get you in the spirit, and start shopping, get ready for the holidays. So that was my topic idea tonight. Is it too early to start playing the Christmas music everywhere you go?
Yeah.
I just tune it out anyway.
Pick up the big X.
What up there,
Unfortunately,
We got the Mrs. Truman hanging with us. What up, Steph?
Hey, there she is.
I definitely think Christmas music is too early.
Yeah, I mean, we were
I feel
we were
sorry
talking
for the
before.
workers.
Yeah, we were talking before we went live, and it was like, back in the day, Thanksgiving, and then they would start playing the Christmas music like right after Thanksgiving. But now it's right after Halloween. They moved it up a month,
Yeah, really.
right?
Yeah,
I definitely feel sorry for workers.
Yeah.
There's only like
Lenny-
10 songs.
Yeah. Lenny has a good point because we were out shopping last night. We didn't really intend to start buying Christmas gifts, but guess what we did? We start, oh, I'm going to get this and put it away for Christmas. That'll be a good gift for so and so. So, Lenny, you're correct, man. It must have been that music because we started buying Christmas gifts already. I don't know.
What up, Len? Shout out to Mags. Mags is Lenny's woman. But yeah, like when I remember back in the day, when we were kids, it was Thanksgiving, you put up Thanksgiving decorations, blah, blah, blah. Had Thanksgiving, and then Friday, it all just went to like start of Christmas, Black Friday. And
Oh, yeah.
I will say, and I harass if the GF's watching tonight, I don't know, the GF's home. She had a family issue, but everything's okay. Like I would beg her to come out, get up in the morning. Let's go out for breakfast. Let's do this. And like I have to, like you have to literally a bomb has to go up and get her up early. That's Black Friday. That's at like 5 a.m. ready to go. I'm like, come on. So I'm like, just think it's Black Friday and let's go for breakfast. She's like, no. But definitely,
I don't think I've ever gone Black Friday shopping.
I've
never done it.
There
I
were
agree,
times where
Stephanie.
there were times I had Black Friday off, and I'm like, if you think I'm getting up at 5 a.m. to fight people to go shopping,
Yeah.
no, not
They're
at
not
all.
even good prices half the time anymore.
Yeah, like, is it even worth it? I mean, could you? I guess it depends on what you're shopping for, right? Like, if you want a big TV or something, maybe you get a good deal on a 70-inch TV. I don't know. I've never done it, so I just don't know.
It's
The television told me to consume.
Yep,
I mean, that's how I look at it.
pretty much.
The television told me to consume, and I always do what the television tells me to do.
Right. We got two good questions in the chat here. So I'll start with Susan's. What's the best gift you ever got, and what's the worst? I'm gonna need a minute to think about that one, but that's a
I'm
good
gonna need
question.
a second on that one. Oh no, I don't for the best gift, and that's when I got my Camaro. That was the best gift I ever. Because it was funny because it was my dad. Like we're down in the kitchen, we're opening up our gifts, and my dad's like, "Oh, there's some presents out in the garage because we rented a garage like 2 doors down from us because we actually didn't have like a garage." And one day he snuck the car home and put it because I didn't have keys to the garage. He's like, "Oh, I have to get you a set of keys. I didn't make one yet." Blah 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 blah. Okay, not even putting 2 and 2 together. So he goes, "Why don't you go up to the garage? I have some packages up there that I just forgot to bring them. Can you go get them for me?" Okay. So I go up to the garage and open the doors, and I see this black Camaro, and I'm like, and I'm looking at like there's no other packages, but there's this Camaro sitting in our garage. So I come walking back down, like I just left the doors open. I come walking back down the house, and I have this stupid look on my face, and my dad just laughing. He's like, "Merry Christmas." I'm like, "Is that like mine?" He goes, "Well, that's." He goes, "Technically, yes, but you don't have your license yet," because I was only like 15. We're gonna like start rebuilding everything, like modifying and crap. And he's like, "Yes, but until he goes, yes, but right now under my supervision, but yes." And then
Nice.
then I was like 15. He taught me like how to, like pull it out of the garage. Like even though I kind of knew how to drive at 15 with my buddies and shit, but he didn't know that. Pulling it out of the garage, backing it in the garage, and like kind of I just quick like he let me like drive it around like up and down our back alley. Now if you did that, get caught, like you're screwed. But back then, I'd drive it up and down the alley, going, "Yeah, this is cool." And so that's probably one of my best Christmas gifts. Now the worst. Probably when I was a kid. Well, my worst was when my dad passed away. But other than that, because he died like on the 20th. But I think when you're a kid, the worst gift you can get is clothes. Like when you're a kid, you don't want clothes. You want toys. You don't want clothes.
Yeah. Very true.
What about you guys?
I can't even
I'm
think.
I'm still thinking too.
See, my birthday's only like 2 weeks after Christmas.
Oh,
So,
so you get gypped.
yeah. And I'm the oldest of 4 kids, too.
Still get gypped.
My wife bought me this guitar maybe 10 or 11 years ago for Christmas.
Way to go, Steph.
So, yeah, she's a keeper. So that's pretty cool. That's probably one of the best gifts I ever got.
You're left-handed?
Guitar. No, I just don't have my camera flipped. It's an LTD. It's like an SG knockoff. I'd like to answer Croatia's question. My favorite Christmas song is the Christmas song by Nat King Cole.
Mine. If I mean now if you want to get like how could what I'm looking for? Damn it.
That's the word you're looking for?
Yeah, I know. Like for like a nice Christmas song would probably be between it was David Bowie and I forget his name. They did the Little Drummer Boy.
Bing Crosby.
Yeah, Bing.
Yeah.
Now if you want to talk like funny song, it has to be the 12 Pains of Christmas. I have to say.
Yeah.
Or Bob Rivers did it's called the Rusty Chevrolet Christmas. That was pretty funny.
I like Kevin Bacon.
What, FP?
I said I like Kevin Bacon.
What did he do?
He sang "So This Is Christmas" in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Ah, did not know that.
It's
I
part of
like
the movie.
the Guardian of the Galaxies had a Christmas special, and they had an amazing song on it.
Yeah, that was funny.
Favorite Christmas movie? Since we're talking Christmas here, anybody have a favorite Christmas movie?
The Godfather.
I want to what's going back to Croatia's, which thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. I think it's overplayed. I mean, it's a nice song, but it's overplayed. I want to just throw something when I hear it and change the radio station or turn it off.
Let me guess. Mariah Carey.
Bingo.
My best gift I got was my kids. My worst gift I got was my ex-wife. That's 2 strikes. One more strike, you're out. Fuck out of here. Done. Done.
Best Christmas. Okay, Mom. Best Christmas. Okay, Mark. Hey, Mark. What's happening, buddy? I think I'm missing some questions here. I think I'm also trying to upload a video too. Mark. Love Christmas breakfast when I was a kid. Dad cooked. Oh yeah, I love. Well, all right, dude. I love breakfast anyway. But on Christmas morning, like, well, my dad would ask us the night before and go, because it was time consuming. Because the way he did it was like he peeled, boiled, and everything. He's like, "Do you want me to make home fried potatoes?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's not even a question." And he'd do like the bacon, the sausage, and eggs, that kind of deal.
Hey Fred, if I'm not mistaken, LTD, ESP, their name for their version of the SG is the Viper, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's a Viper. Cherry red, kind of looks like your standard like Gibson SG. I think LTD is ESP's Epiphone. It's kind of like
not Epiphone really. Like they, most of them are actually like finding an ESP like itself seems like pretty difficult. Like it seems like most of what they put out is LTD.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, unless you're like field or something, then you could ESPs just throwing guitars at you left and right. But yeah, you're right though.
At least in the United States, like I'm sure, like if you go, I saw somebody in China actually in a Chinese music store, like this guy from Glasgow who goes around the world and goes to music stores. He was in China, and they had like all these ESP guitars. It's like, really? You never see that in the U.S.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I wanted a legit SG, and I'll probably get one someday. This was more affordable, and it's a great guitar. I was actually in between this and Guild makes an SG. I think it's called Polara. The Guild Polara or Polaris.
The Polaris, and that's actually Kim Thale of
Soundgarden.
Thank you. That's what he plays.
Yep.
Is the Guild version of an SG. Actually, your SG has the small pickguard, which means that they're trying to pay homage to the 61.
Yep.
The original, like the Les Paul, because like in 61, they stopped making the traditional looking Les Paul, and the SG was born, and that was the SG. The SG model was actually the upgraded Les Paul model. Les hated it, and he was going through a divorce with Mary Ford anyway. He didn't want as many assets on the books, so he dropped his name from Gibson's roster for a few years. It was kind of a combination of things, but you could tell with yours it has the smaller pickguard.
Yeah.
The larger, what they call the Batwing pickguard, is actually like considered to be like the late 60s. Yeah, the smaller pickguard. When the pickguard's on both sides and the pickups are actually mounted into the pickguard, that's like the later version from like the late 60s, early 70s, and they call that the Batwing. Actually, that's considered the SG standard of today. If you wanted the Gibson version of yours, they would call it the standard 61. It's still available. I don't know. I own the one with the standard pickguard or with the double with the Batwing pick guard. It's just I wanted an SG, and that's what Guitar Center had.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm still in the market for a 61. Like, not anytime soon. Like, money's kind of tight right now, but one of these days.
Keep an eye on Facebook Marketplace, dude. I'm always on Facebook Marketplace. I bought a guitar a year ago. I bought a Les Paul. I drove down to Allentown and bought it. I already have a Les Paul. I just wanted another one. But it was on Facebook Marketplace. I wanted it. The guy was really cool. Went down and picked it up. I haven't seen a lot of SGs on Facebook Marketplace, man. Like,
I wanted to, and I'm glad you mentioned it. I have a friend, an old friend named Bill Hoffman. He played around in bands in this area forever. He owns a small store up on Route 309. He sells vinyl records, old toys, memorabilia. One thing he has hanging in his shop is an SG, or a Gibson SG. And if you don't mind a headstock break, it's been repaired correctly. He only wants $800 for it. So keep it in mind. It's, if you know where it's up on 309 by near Wegmans.
oh, yeah, by the beef jerky, beef jerky place.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The beef jerky place.
like across from Applebee's and stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fine.
In that area.
I got you.
I can't remember what he calls his store, but it's Hoffman's something.
Nice.
Yeah, like I said, he has. It's if you don't mind a headstock break, and like when they're repaired correctly, they're even stronger.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
With
Also,
Gibson's, unfortunately, yes.
Sorry.
I apologize.
Oh no, I apologize. I interrupted.
I'm sorrier than you.
They're talking about Christmas movies, and one of the questions that we passed, I know I'm behind, is the people that did Superman, Alexander Salkind did. It was called The Santa Claus, or Santa Claus the movie, and it was really good. Dudley Moore played in it.
Hands down, actually, one of the best Christmas movies ever is Lethal Weapon.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, come on. They kicked the guy out of they kicked Gary Busey out of a window like over a Christmas tree. I mean, it's all the movie's all about. It takes place all around Christmas.
Yep.
It's just it's in Los Angeles, so you don't see any snow. Same with Die Hard.
I would say there was another one that you call it Die Hard. It's technically a Christmas movie, but they say it's not, but it technically is.
Yeah.
What's up, Avenger 6?
Well, look at The Godfather. I mean, one of the first scenes of the film. Al Pacino and Diane Keaton are buying Christmas presents.
Okay, guys. I know people have probably watched this already. I watched Scarface for the first time, the whole movie. And from what I get, like, I hope I'm wrong, but at the end, when Gina came back and she was shooting at him, for a second there, were they going to hook up? If that dude didn't come through the window and shoot her?
She was trying to make it seem that way, but she was fully intent on killing him.
Yes, but the look in his eyes was like, that's my sister, but wait a second. I was like, whoa.
He had an unhealthy obsession. He had an unhealthy obsession with her, that's for sure.
Yeah. Like, that's what I took from it. I was like, holy shit.
At P said poop.
Holy poop. Effing tards.
Bad Santa was a good Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Now, also,
You cockroach.
Billy Bob Thornton.
I better
rid those cockroaches.
My favorite
Also-
Christmas movie might be Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Too far.
Weren't bad.
My favorite Thanksgiving movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Me too. Same here.
I haven't seen that movie in years.
I saw it in the theater.
Such a great movie. It's one of the best movies ever. Movie is so funny.
I was just checking on the Facebook page, and thank you everybody who's checking us out on Facebook. They're talking about the Thanksgiving breakfast, and one lady put that day they'd skip and go right for sometimes they go right for the dinner, like right for that turkey.
I hate turkey.
Yes.
Turkey and chicken, I never eat. I can't get past the idea that I'm eating a bird.
You also don't like ham.
Yeah, I don't care for ham much. Can't get past the idea that I'm eating a pig's rear end.
It's yeah, I know a lot of people that'll do both ham and turkey on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
For ham. That's victory.
I eat tacos.
Yes. Rodrigo.
You're
Change
last
it here. Exploded or exploded. He's gone. Jay!
Jay vanished.
Well, since we're all in his head, kind of, because this is like his chat. Or does that mean we're all going to die now?
We all go into the Matrix.
He's back.
We've been living in a simulation.
Sorry guys, my computer froze.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, so with me,
Turn the heat up in the room.
it was Thanksgiving we always had turkey, Christmas we always had ham, and Easter we always had ham.
Same. And turkey for New Year's.
New Year's they used to always do
Same thing.
seafood. Like my dad would do lobster tail, shrimp, that whole kind of thing.
That's what we do on Christmas Eve. We follow the Polish tradition of Vilia on Christmas Eve. So it's all seafood, all shellfish and pierogi and anything non-meat. We can't eat meat on Christmas Eve.
That's what we did. Years ago, that's what we did. Well, thank you, whoever hit the QR code. Thank you. Buy me a chili dog. Appreciate it. Oh, there he is. There's FP back. Now it's what was I gonna say? Oh, I don't know how we jumped from Thanksgiving to Christmas, but hey, that's cool. It's hi, what's up, Emily? How you doing? Kabasi, yeah, Kabasi is. I love Kabasi.
Yeah, Kabasi on Christmas morning. When I lived with my parents, that's what my dad would always do with Kabasi Christmas morning.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now I prefer the smoked. I mean, I like the fresh, but I prefer the smoked.
Me too.
I actually prefer the fresh. I get it from Shifts over in 44.
They're both really good. I like
Shifts
smoked,
over-
but I like them both.
I just don't think Shifts in 44, but I know what you're talking about.
The old main source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a place in Duryea. It's either I think it's Duryea or DuPont. Rahalski's, I think.
Yeah, Rahuski's.
Rahuski's. And my sister always picks me up a ring from them, and they're always good too.
Oh yeah.
Best I ever had is Solovi's Plains Meat Market.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Solovi family. I used to work with Damian Solovi. Good guy. He's running the family business now, actually, and he only keeps it open for holidays. And they make a mean kielbasa.
Yeah. Like I basically live right up the road from Plains Meat Market,
Okay.
and I just drove by the other day. I was going to I was going somewhere for work, and anyway, I saw that they were like reopening the shop, so they must be, because it's that time of the year,
Thanksgiving.
so they must be, they must be getting everything back in order to reopen for the holidays.
Yeah, like I said, so the Solobis are good people.
Yeah, they're all really nice people. When you go in there, they're super appreciative, really, really cool people.
And the best thing is the one year somebody decided they were going to try to rob them at knife point. Walk into a butcher shop with a knife.
Michael Myers.
Damien or somebody like pulled out like a boning knife and said, you know what, mine's bigger than yours. And the guys ran off.
That reminds me of the scene in Crocodile Dundee. That's a
You
knife.
call that a knife?
You call that a knife? That's a knife.
See, I carry less lethal. I don't carry a firearm. I carry less lethal. I don't want to shoot nobody.
They're in arm's reach this week, so why not? This is. Let's see if I can.
Nice.
Chancy likes Jerry's and Nanny Coke.
I haven't
Who's
had
that?
two Jerry's in a while.
That's carry. That's carry number one. This is a Canic 9mm,
There you go.
15 round magazine.
Nice.
And carry number two, because you always carry two. If you're going to carry two, because one may fail on you.
Yeah.
This
I
is
could
carry
do 'em.
number two,
My favorite one.
and
Ooh,
Gina's favorite.
revolver.
That's a 38.
gun.
That's a 38 special.
That's a sexy.
Taurus.
Nice.
I like revolvers, but I'm left-handed, or at least I shoot left-handed,
Yeah.
so it makes things interesting. But yeah, I sleep right here, and whenever I'm asleep, I always have given where I live.
Yep.
I always have a firearm right next to me.
I think I have my Red Ryder BB gun somewhere around here.
You'll shoot
I'd show you my AK-47, but it's. I was just gonna say I'd show you my AK-47, but it's 2 floors up.
Instead of being 2 doors down. Oh wait, that's 3 doors down. Sorry.
Well, if I go crazy, would you still call me Superman?
Sure.
Sure.
Is that what you prefer us to call you?
I got this awesome pocket knife at Harbor Freight. I think I was shopping Christmas last year, and it looks like a key, but it folds out and it's a pocket knife. So I just keep it on my key ring in case I have to, defend myself.
Yeah.
I don't know how much damage I would do with a pocket knife, but hey, don't put me to the test.
This is what I got. This is one of the clips. These are the balls it shoots, which I just launched everywhere.
Oh, is FP? Is that like a pepper ball gun?
Well, yeah. These are like 50, or I think 68 caliber pepper ball
Yeah,
round.
yeah.
But these are like hard kinetic ones. They're like really hard. They don't break.
Cool.
That's a 9mm hollow point.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with that.
I mean, shit.
Everybody is always like, I think it's like Lethal Weapon, the line in the movie about, I got a hollow point through the chopper, right? All police carry hollow points. All their weapons are normally loaded with hollow points.
Yeah.
And it's because ball ammo can penetrate and go through. So if there's an innocent person behind the person you're shooting, they can get shot. The hollow point expands the minute it makes contact with the flesh, so it doesn't go through. That's all it's for.
Right.
It's so that it doesn't, it's so that when it hits what you're shooting at, it stops.
Yeah, it opens up.
Yeah. But people make it out like, oh, you carry hollow points because you want to, blow huge holes in people, and
No, that's
it's exactly the opposite.
You want to blow a hole in somebody, you get a 12 gauge.
Yeah.
That's called a shotgun.
Well, shotgun at close range, anyway. If you're far away from somebody, they might be able to, if they're far enough, they might be able to just brush the BBs away as they come in contact with them.
Okay. EMCV. I'm sorry. EMCV has a question. What does SGW mean? All right. I know I told the story before, but I will graciously tell it again.
Good, because I forgot.
Okay, cool. SGW was the three initials of a couple brands that came together. Hi, Pepper. See, back in the day when I first started, I just did simple ceremonies, just did the weddings. That's it. So, my friend Sarah, who she chimes in from time to time, she was doing weddings called Why Not Weddings, like WHYKNOTT weddings, like Why Not Weddings, and we kind of collaborated and said let's just start doing together. That's how I met Sarah, and about a year later in 2017, I started doing my food reviews, and I couldn't figure out what to call it. I had no clue. So somehow the name Wyoming Valley Reviews came into my head, and that's what I went by. So as time went on, Sarah started getting into photography, and she named her deal after her three kids' initials, G and K. So that's so the S is from Simple Ceremonies, the G is from G and K Photography, and the W is from Wyoming Valley Reviews. But then going through Facebook, there's a good guy. He calls himself NEPA or NEPA Food Reviews or something like really close to mine. So that's why I just totally just flipped mine to make it so we weren't looking like we were together. And it just sounded good. And now I just, after buying all the URL and everything, I'm not going to change it back. So that's where SGW came into play. And if you go on the website, I upped it, and because it was SGW's Entertainment and Restaurant Connection, but it's now going forward SGW Media Connection SGW Media Entertainment, because we're doing the live shows, we're doing the food reviews. Can you do a live food review? I can, but here's why I normally don't. Because I like to go in and edit things that maybe I don't like. If I drop something on my face or something, I want to edit it out. So that's why I normally will do a pre-recorded one. But yeah, I could do a Mad P, the SGW guy right here, baby. And I don't know how that came into play. It just happened, and I know how that happened. When I do my home cooking shows, I'm quote unquote Chef J, like quote unquote, like meaning I'm a character person. I'm playing a part. Well, it was on YouTube, and I forget who it was. And she commented, she's like, "You're not really a chef, blah 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 blah." So I'm like, listen, if I have to explain it to you, you're stupid, okay? But I'm gonna explain it to you anyway. The quote unquotes should tell everybody I am playing it's a character. It's a character. Am I a professional chef? No, I call myself a cooking chef, a kitchen chef, because it's my kitchen. And I'm like thinking, dude, like, come on. If I have to sit there and explain it to you, like,
there's too many people out there who like to argue about everything.
Yeah. So instead of
say change it up just a little more, and say that you're Chief J Strongbow.
There we go. You're not the wrestler guy. You're right, I'm not. But yeah, that's how that all came about. That's how SGW was born, and it just sounds like how it rolls together. So that's why it's still that. But thank you for the question.
It was a very handsome question.
There we go.
Beautiful. I salute you. I don't know what the
Wow.
where the fuck is it? Yeah.
Okay, if you were to do a live food review, what do you think you like? Where would you? What type of setting would it have to be in? Like, would it be a chain restaurant? Would it be like a mom and pop place where you can kind of promote the hospitality? I'm just thinking outside the box. Like, I wonder where you'd even do a live one,
outside the
Outside
box.
Get it?
Mike caught it.
Yeah.
If I did, and I toyed with this idea, I thought of it, but I'd want to do it through Restream so like everybody sees and not just like YouTube. So that's why I won't do it on my cell phone. I'd have to. I know a couple places that I'm good with the owners. I'd actually take my laptop, but like depending how long I'm there, I'd have to be somewhere near where there's an outlet so I can just plug my laptop in, and do it from like. And bring my one camera where I can kind of like move it around and say, okay, look at this, look at that, look at that. Here we go. Possibly, maybe I know Tammy's Kitchen would always say, yeah, she wouldn't have it. She wouldn't care. I'd have to just have her because on the weekends though she gets slammed, so I'd have to have her I'd have to have like a set time. I need a table near an outlet, but she would be cool with it. Villa Pizzeria in Exeter. He wouldn't have an issue doing it. I know a couple if back in the summer, Sicilian Bella, he wouldn't have an issue. So there's some places. There's places that would let me do it. That's Majestic Lunch, Magnetic. It's Majestic Lunch, but we'll give you a pass because you're an out of towner. No, there's a place called Majestic Lunch in Pittston.
That's funny. Could you imagine doing a live food review at I don't even think they have Wi-Fi in that building. Like if you ask for the Wi-Fi password, they'd be like, "Get out."
I'd actually have to hotspot it from my phone. Like
you would. Yeah.
I'd have to hotspot it from my phone.
I'll tell you what, the guy that eats carburetors for breakfast would not be able to go to Magnetic Lunch.
Yeah. Venger says he's coming in next year in the summertime, so we're gonna have to take him on a road trip of food places around here.
You better bring your appetite, Venger.
Croatia, I don't know if I'm gonna get there tomorrow. It's off pay week, but tell Tammy we were talking about her and we said hi. She'll know who you're talking about. Well, it's funny. Like I thought when you guys were pretending you were sleeping, but I heard that for the the vape. I'm like, are you guys sleeping over there? But no, that I know I could definitely pull it off. And my cheesesteak video is just about done. I have to just blend everything together. That's going to be at least a good hour video, at least an hour. I have like 8 different clips going into this thing, all on how to eat different ways to eat a cheesesteak. Yeah. It's sad that, I guess you can call it sad that I kind of put that much effort into how to eat different ways to eat a cheesesteak. But I didn't. Oh yeah, Tammy's really nice.
There's a place in
France,
Dallas. It's called J&J Deli. Like going up to Harvey's Lake.
Mike just got it.
No, I know a couple of people who work there.
Oh, Jay,
I've never been there.
I actually I did
have
review
a
on their
kick-ass cheesesteak. Their cheesesteaks are unbelievable.
That's actually clip number 1 of the whole series. J&J Deli's cheesesteak.
J&J Deli, Gina. Who do you know that works there?
I'm trying to remember.
It's like a bottle shop, right? Like you go in, they have all kind of beer, craft beer
Right.
and stuff.
Is it the 2 people I'm thinking of?
I'll give you a hint. Glitter Ace.
Ashley.
Great food.
Oh yeah. And what I did was like a whole cheesesteak, it would be like, holy crap. They're like,
Yeah.
So I got
Yeah.
half of a cheesesteak and half of a regular sub. Like that was my lunch for the next day. The Italian was half my, and the cheesesteak I ate that night, and I was filled. Half I was stuffed.
Yeah. Did you get it with the sauce and everything too? I know they do a little marinara sauce, like a pizza steak.
I walk in and I'm like, and because when I ordered, I just assumed it came with it, and I forgot to tell her. So I walk in,
Yeah.
I'm like, by any chance, did you? She's like, no, it was, I meant to ask on the phone and I forgot, so I put it on the side for you. I'm like, that works.
Nice.
I'm like, that works. But yeah. J&J has some good stuff.
Yeah. Good
Well,
food.
do you remember Dagwood's Deli in Kingston?
Yeah, sure do. I miss that too, Joey.
The
Great
wife,
place.
from what I heard, the wife originally was one of the daughters to the J&J family, or related to the J&J family somehow. That's what I heard. I'm not sure, but that's what I heard.
Okay. Nice.
Let's see.
I like
KJ's.
KJ's on
You like
Market
where?
Street. KJ's Pickle Barrel for sandwiches.
I haven't been there in years.
To answer
They
MF's
make-
question, hands down, Black Sabbath.
Oh yeah, you're a Sabbath guy. I remember that from back in the day.
I don't
I've
have
forgotten how to play more Black Sabbath songs than anybody will ever learn. When I was like in my 20s, I was actually trying to find guys I wanted to put together a Sabbath cover band. And like, no, everybody's like, you don't look anything like Tony Iommi. I said, I don't care. I could sound just like him if I want to.
It's shout out to the 11 watching on YouTube, on my channel anyway. Thank you, appreciate it. And everybody watching on the FP and the Ghetto channel.
The Ghetto channel.
The Ghetto channel. Uh-oh, FP is trying to say something.
No, I was trying to poke Fred.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
it's my favorite band. Oh, damn it. Well, I love Kiss. I told you a story why I love Kiss. I met Paul Stanley. I told you that story back in the day, in the past. But
They're definitely in my top 5.
Other than Kiss, favorite band. That's a good one. I've been starting to listen to the 80s again. So like basically anything 80s, I like.
Black Sabbath.
Mike, I think Mike likes Black Sabbath. Not to be sure though. I don't want to assume. Gina, what about you?
I really don't have a favorite band. I like all kinds of music. I listen to almost everything.
So do I, but you know, they're not Black Sabbath.
I like Sabbath.
Also, I liked my first band T-shirt was actually Twisted Sister when the Stay Hungry album came out.
Oh, by the way, Floyd and Stones definitely again top 5. Max Sabbath is awesome. Remember that, Gina, when I showed you that Jack Osbourne brought his dad in to watch Max Sabbath?
Yep.
That was hilarious.
Max Sabbath.
They sound good too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Matt P. My favorite band, probably the Stones. My dad took me to my first concert. I was 7 years old. We went to see the Rolling Stones up in Syracuse, and since then, I think that was '94. I've seen them like, no joke, like I don't know, 20 times, man. The Stones are my dad's favorite band, and we've just seen them so many times. They're the best.
First concerts.
Mine was Lyle Lovett.
Metallica, 1988.
Nice.
Saw them on their Justice tour. They did a 2-hour encore because they were taping stuff for Live Binge and Purge. Didn't make it, but they were still like taping stuff. So they went through their entire old catalog. Queensryche opened for them.
Nice. I'd love to see Queen. Well, I like Metallica too. But I like Queensryche. I like some songs from Queensryche.
Yeah.
My first concert.
Mike, where did you see them in '88? Where?
Broome County Arena up in New York.
In Binghamton. Yeah, I have a friend that was either at that show or saw them there during Master of Puppets, maybe. I think Cliff was still with them, so it would have been like
This is 88 was after he died. This was Justice tour.
Yeah, so Jason Newsted.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And Jay knows Rob. He's like a mutual person we went to school with. Rob's father used to live up there. I don't know if he still does. His dad lived up there, and we stayed with his father for like a day or two.
Nice.
I agree. It was
First
a good time.
concert. Actually, my first concert was the day my dad snuck the Camaro home and put it in the garage. That's when he did it because I was at a concert. My first concert. Me and my one buddy Danny, he used to live up the street from me. We went down to the Armory and we stood out there all day to get in, froze to death, but it was a good concert. It was Bon Jovi, and opening for Bon Jovi was Cinderella at the Kingston Armory. That was a good concert.
I think my first concert was Stone Temple Pilots at the Aladdin in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Joey. Yep, that's the one. I believe it was '86. Yeah, I remember that day. It was cold out that day. It was very cold and very snowy. And when the doors opened, everybody just like so what me and my buddy Dan said, like if we get separated, we'll meet outside at this tree or something. And as soon as the doors open, everybody pushed it. I didn't see him till the end of the show. Now he was like 2 years older than me. I was like 15, maybe 14, 15. And it was funny because he was saying when we did find each other, he's like thinking, oh my God, Jay's dad's gonna kill me. Jay's dad's gonna kill me. I lost him, and it was but no, it was a good concert.
Jay was a little older than that.
Yeah, I was a little older than that. Wait, so 90, I was 18, 17. Like I was like 15.
I almost got to go see this huge bill. Metallica, who at the time was an unknown band, Armored Saint, Anthrax, again, virtually an unknown band. A couple other bands. They were all on one bill. It was called like the Metal Militia or something. And it was up in New York. I sold my coin collection to buy tickets. And they had to cancel because of a snowstorm.
Oh, Jesus.
So it was great. I sold my coin collection for nothing.
Oh.
Micro cassette. Oh my God, that's a blast from the past. Oh yeah, that sucks, Mike. Like, you sell something to go, think you're gonna get there, and it canceled.
Yeah, Jay, I'm sitting here and Steph texts me. She's just in the other room, but she goes, "Oh, Bon Jovi and Cinderella at the Armory. That was my first concert too." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, we weren't even born yet." But I remembered the story. My mother-in-law was pregnant with her, so they went to that show at the Armory. So technically, yeah, that was my wife's first concert. She was in the womb.
Technically, yeah, that is.
In utero.
Yeah.
I was in utero for The Godfather. My mother went to see it at the Paramount Theater on the Square when I was in 1972 when it was a new movie. And she was 6 months pregnant with me. So I gained an early appreciation of the film.
Nice. At my old job, I
was going to say I didn't see it, but I probably heard it.
Oh yeah. At my former job, I hired someone.
Cinderella.
Uh,
No.
and she was at Shea Stadium, saw the Beatles at Shea Stadium in
Nice.
1960, whatever it was. I remember like her telling me that, and I was just blown away. She's like, "Yeah, my girlfriend and I like begged our dads to take us, and she just said it was just, I mean, look, just like you see the footage on TV or documentaries, it was just screaming. Like the Beatles
Which,
came out and did a couple songs, and it was just. She said
which
you couldn't
time
hear
though? They actually
anything.
they played there twice.
That I don't know, Mike. I mean, maybe she made it seem like it was the first time, like, the whole
Okay.
British invasion, like maybe that first show at Shea Stadium. But yeah, dude, I was so blown away. I was like, "You were there?" She's like, "Yeah, I was there." It's like, wow.
Oh, I want to
We
give a
had a
quick shout out on my profile page or my Facebook profile. Right now, the show has 1 share, so someone shared our video, our show. Thank you, and 35 views
Wow.
on my Facebook profile.
You guys ever stick your foot in the front tire of a bike going down a big hill?
No,
Huh? Come
no,
on.
no.
Seriously, come on. You never did that.
I can honestly say no. I did not never do that.
Yeah.
I had my foot run over by a forklift at Votech. I was really stoned at the time.
Okay. I'm
Imagine
not
that.
What shop were you in, Mike?
Diesel.
Oh, JF's class.
Yeah.
John Farrell.
I don't know. I most of my time at Votech I spent in the tool crib stoned.
Oh, yeah, that was John Farrell. That's where I was at. Yep.
Oh, we were in the same class together?
No, I was. I think no, you were never. I think I was at. Might have been in like the night or the morning tech when I was in the night. I was in the afternoon tech.
Oh, yeah, I was that morning.
Yeah, I was. All right, on the SGW page, 30 views already watched. So thank you to the SGW page. Awesome. That's awesome. I'll have the total numbers like later on, but just as a item on it. What do you miss most of being a kid? Things people did don't no longer do.
I just miss a lot of relatives that passed away. Grandparents, aunts, uncles. I think of all the
Family.
holidays, all the. I'm not trying to bring the mood down, but that's what comes to mind for me. It's like, man, we've lost so many people over the years. That's what I miss the most.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. My parents are gone. Both sets of grandparents are gone. Both aunts and uncles are gone. Yeah, so it's really like me and my 2 sisters. I mean, there's cousins, but you really don't. I really don't see my cousins.
Yeah.
But overall, also, what thing I missed as a kid going up, other than family, probably going up to the mall or going to Top Dog and playing video games. Yeah, me too. Not paying bills, not yeah.
Not having so much responsibility and paying bills. Yeah. I hear you there.
Actually funny, and back in the day, before the days of cell phones, internet, that kind of thing, the biggest thing you were worried about is what you were going to do on a Friday night. Nothing else mattered. What were you going to do on a Friday night? Where were you going to go and who you were going to go with? And if you didn't, for some reason, like I said, I didn't start driving until I was later, 17, because I couldn't pass my license. I knew how to drive, I just couldn't pass. And
I was 28.
Croatia, answer that question, yes. That is a definite yes. My older sister, I have an older sister and an older sister. Everybody's going to be at my older sister's house. About 20 people. let's see. You know what though? It's going back to like the Friday night thing, and you have to laugh. Well, I've laughed now, but like back then, if like, because see, I didn't drive till I was 17, so I did my other one buddy drove. But if for some reason if he didn't pick me up or if I didn't get picked up, like you're like, oh my god, I'm home alone on a Friday, like I'm home on a Friday night, like you thought like the world just came to an end.
I was boring. I was a nerd, so I didn't go out. I didn't even start dating till I was 17.
Yeah, I could agree there. I could relate. Like I didn't really my first my first official girlfriend was when I was out of school in.
You played that game, Fred?
I still do. I was playing it this week. Sometimes
Oh my God, dude!
I
I
haven't.
remember the cheats for that.
Yeah.
You could get the golden gun and all that shit.
Yep.
Oh man.
Fantastic. Sorry, Jake. Didn't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just reading
bad.
chat.
I'm reading the chat questions. My favorite video game. All right, I'm going to exclude anything that will. I love the Atari back. We had the Atari 2600, the original Atari 2600. But other than like to exclude like Atari, later on I bought myself an N64 just because I just wanted to buy one, and I didn't have a lot of games, but I had Star Wars race. I got Star Wars the Pod Racer game I got for Christmas or my birthday. But I had a couple different games of the. Do you remember the Sarge's Hero, the Army Men? Like your little plastic guy. I loved playing that game. So I think I played it till I think it just finally just took a crap and never just stopped working. But like you're a little plastic guy, then you fight in technically the real world. It's like you're fighting on the bathtub, you're shooting people in the over the toilet.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite games.
Sarge's Heroes. Yeah. Oh, what a great game.
Did you ever play?
Did you guys have any like? Do you guys have any racing games for N64, like car racing games or anything? You guys remember those?
Well, I only have the Pod Racer, like the Pod Star, but I didn't. I knew they're out there, but I never had them. My gaming was very limited.
There was one futuristic car game, wasn't there?
Probably.
Yeah, Rush.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. You guys
I
ever
played one
played?
game on N64. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I only had the one game, and that was Doom.
Doom?
Doom 64.
Doom 64. Yep. They upgraded from the floppy disk to the N64.
I'll tell you what was neat about it is you went up and down the staircase so many times. There was an Easter egg. I found it on my own, which that's always the best when that happens. And somebody wrote on the wall, "I hate making maps." It might have been I effing hate making maps. Actually, now that I think of it. So somebody definitely vented their frustration there. Favorite game though is the one I tend to play right now. And no, Gina, not Pokemon.
It's
Star Wars: The Old Republic. I love that. I haven't played it in a while, but I absolutely love that game. One of the few games I'll actually spend money on.
What about a section called Potluck where it was a home cooking show, but you went to some? I tried that with my friend. I did one with FP years ago, and I did another. I'd love to do it, but it hasn't worked that way. But yeah, I'd love to do them. Just never had. Just doesn't happen for some reason.
What is a potluck? Is that when you go somewhere, everybody brings a food item?
Yeah.
Is that a pot? So like, do you get together with these people ahead of time and say, "I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make that," or is it just like totally?
No, like for an example, every Memorial Day, every Memorial Day weekend, my one buddy has a big party up at his house. He lives out in Cornhurst. So him and his wife, like his wife does more of the cooking. Like she'll do the burgers, hot dogs, and chicken on the grill, and then someone will bring like potato salad. Someone will bring like, whatever else. I always bring the hot dog chili. Yeah, that's a potluck basically.
I thought potluck was something totally different. So thanks for explaining that.
But it was funny when I used to work in house and we had an office. My one apartment manager, if she could think up a reason for a potluck, she did. Like we were always, I think everybody got more fat that year than any other time, because it's like there was a girl who
the munchies.
Oh yeah, there was a girl who was out because she had a baby, so she was coming back and like, oh, so-and-so's coming back, potluck on Monday, bring food, changing the seasons. I think we need a potluck every time she could. And Lenny, if he's still watching, we always just do potlucks in office. Let's see. You know, it was the dumbest video game ever. Well, actually, there were two of them, and they were I set them on they were for going back to the days of the Atari. Thank you for 11 that are still hanging with us. Appreciate it. The first one for Atari was E.T. I'm going to say 3. I have 3 come to mind. First,
considering that they had to bulldoze all the games they didn't sell. Yeah.
E.T. was my first pick. I thought was stupid.
I enjoyed it when I was a kid.
When I was a kid, yeah. But now that when I think back, I'm like, that was a really dumb game. Oh, I had it. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I love that one.
But again, it was like stupid. But it was cool at the time.
You had a parachute. You had a parachute off a mesa and catch a branch with the parachute.
Right, or you're dead. You had to actually use two. You had to use your 2 joysticks. One to move Indiana Jones, and the other one to
go through your inventory.
Yeah. And what was the third one? The third one was Superman.
I love that.
Oh, so did I.
Play that today.
I had it, but again, it was like one of the most stupidest games back in the day. But it was.
I play it on the Atari emulator all the time. I love it.
The Atari emulator. You got to send me that.
Yeah, you could. There's MAME. MAME is a arcade machine emulator. There's you name the game system. There's a computer emulator for it.
On the computer, you can do it. You just download it off the internet.
Yeah, then you got to know your way around. DOS commands and stuff.
Kinda. I know kinda DOS.
Yeah, you get into run MAME, and then you go to everything is like ROMs, like they call them MAME ROMs.
Okay.
Random online memory little thingies that actually they're ripped from the original games. See, I look at it as like every time I play Map Mania, it's like anytime I dump I don't know 15 or 20 quarters into that machine, well, now I'm getting my money back. Yeah, they have Nintendo 8-bit. I have that. I haven't played that in a while though. But Atari 2600 is loads of fun.
Oh yeah, I remember Yar's Revenge was good. I like.
Yeah, I play that one pretty often too.
There was a game. Now the first 2 levels, it was kind of boring, but as you got up, it became more fun. It was done by Activision, and I can't remember the name, but you remember the old time policemen with the big hats.
Keystone Cops.
That's it. That's the name of it. That was actually the name of it. Like I said, you had to catch the crook before he jumped off the bridge, jumped off the building, but you had to chase him up the flight like you were in I think it was like a department store or something.
Jesus, so they were I never played it. They were depicting suicide back then.
You had to. I don't know if he jumped out or if he was or he escaped off the building, but you had to catch him before he got off the building, and he would throw like shopping carts as the levels got harder. You have to kind of jump over shopping carts and different. But it's called Keystone Cops or Keystone Capers. It was called. You know what? Son of a bee, I got it.
Well, from Activision, that hands down their best game was Pitfall.
Oh yeah.
I love that game. You could play it on the emulator actually because it's such a popular title. Actually, the worst game that Atari ever put out had to be Pac-Man.
Oh yeah, that was yeah, okay, yeah, that was probably by all the worst. Yeah, it was called Keystone Capers. I just did a Google search. I just did a Bing search, and
because I mean you're talking like, oh, you know, like Raiders of the Lost Ark was bad, or ET was bad. They were playable.
I mean,
Pac-Man was unplayable.
Yeah, that's true.
It was just awful.
I had Pac, and I down the years later, I read some. I was probably online. Atari just wanted to get this out so quick. They just whoever designed it just threw it together, and literally it was bad. You know, the doors to escape were usually left right. Well, this one was up and down, and oh man, yeah. Didn't have no intermissions, nothing. Breakout was called Phoenix. Huh, I don't remember that game, Phoenix. Huh.
I'll be right back, guys. 2 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
Phoenix video game. I don't remember that.
It vaguely sounds familiar.
Phoenix video game. Oh, let's see.
It was fun, Megaforce. If you remember that film, the corresponding Atari video game.
I do remember that.
You have to remember Megaforce. It was like flying motorcycles.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Deeds, not words.
Phoenix was all right, so Phoenix was almost like reminded me of Galaga or Galaxy, that kind of setup. But yeah,
a very animated Space Invaders.
Yeah, which I love Space Invaders. Space Invaders.
That was when I was a kid. That was one of my all-time favorite games. I love Space Invaders.
So when we got
I played it all the time at the CYC.
So we got the Atari 2600 was our Christmas gift. Now back then they were where did my dog go? Who knows? You know, they were not cheap.
Yeah, it was in today's money, it was $500,000 or something.
Our first game we got, well, it came with I think it came with a game, but we got Asteroids, Space Invaders,
Combat.
Yeah, Combat, and we got Asteroids.
Well, Avengers saying tanks.
Combat. The only bad thing about that was it was only designed for you had to play it against another person, you couldn't play against a computer.
Well, I would just shoot up the other tank, you know.
Yeah, so would I. But
I was an only child. I had to.
It was Berserk was pretty cool.
Stop the humanoid. Stop the intruder.
Chicken fight lightning robot. Yeah, that was a cool game too.
Chicken fight like a robot. Of course, they didn't have the sound for the Atari one.
Oh yeah, no.
And then there was Evil Otto. If you hung out in the maze too long.
Oh, is that the bouncing thing?
Yeah. His name was Evil Otto.
I didn't realize he had a name.
Yeah, he did. Seriously.
Then they came out with Ms. Pac-Man and Pac-Man Jr. and then Super Pac-Man and
Avengers 6 will appreciate this one. One of my favorite games back then was called Avenger. It was kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons thing. It was kind of like Berserk, but you had an arrow, and you had to kill monsters to get to a goal. It was actually pretty cool. There were hall monsters that roamed the hallways. Like I said, it was kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, and I liked Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid because I was a total nerd. I think we discussed this last week, Jay. In last week's therapy, that all the jeans, flannels, long hair, sunglasses. That was all to just cover up the fact that I was basically a bookworm.
It's there was an arcade game, and I think it was called the Dragon's Lair. They made a cartoon after it. A cartoon was made, but
it was a cartoon,
right? But it was based on a video game. And
I'm saying the video game was a cartoon.
Yeah, and it was weird because it was like it looked like almost like 3D. It was up in the mall, Aladdin's Castle when it was and it was cool.
They accomplished that. They had a disc in there that it offered like more memory. It was like a CD that was built into the game.
Oh, okay.
That's how they were able to accomplish that. There was like that space one too.
It was like one of the only.
Remember the guy would shrink down. He was to be like a little kid, and then instead of like losing his life,
you could go back or redo it or something.
Yeah.
I
think they even use a lot of the same voice actors for it.
I'll have to watch that.
FP, did you play Age of Empires by chance?
What is it?
Age of Empires. It was a computer game. It's like a strategy game.
I think I probably played it. I think I played it like once or twice. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Joey T likes
Civilization
Defender. 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Joey T likes Defender. I like Defender was good too. I like Defender. Molly? Oh, you got your self.
One of my favorite computer games is Redneck Rampage.
Okay.
You ever play that one?
Never even heard of it.
It's more modern, but it was like when I was in high school. It was huh?
I was gonna say you're a deranged right-wing Trump supporter.
You gotta check that out.
Let's make
That's pretty funny.
It's for computer games, and this is where my nerdiness comes out. Now I'm going back. Was it maybe 2004? I don't know if I can even find it for today's computer. It would even work for today's computer. But it was the tycoons, like the roller coaster tycoons. I loved. It was Railroad Tycoon 2. Well, I like the first one too. I like the second one better.
So they have all kinds of tycoons now.
Probably. But it
I
was
love
like
those games.
I played Roller Coaster Tycoon and Railroad Tycoon until the disc just actually just got ruined, just burnt out, literally.
During that time, I was like a massive fixture on BattleNet. Always playing Diablo 2. Diablo, the first one, is hilarious to play on BattleNet, especially if you know all the cheats.
Beat Them and Eat Them for Atari. I don't remember that game. Yeah, I don't remember that one. But for the NES, like Donkey Kong, I liked Donkey Kong Jr. That was pretty good.
Donkey Kong on ColecoVision was pretty convincing. If anybody here remembers ColecoVision, my cousin had it. I didn't actually get to have that because
ColecoVision. I remember ColecoVision.
I had another cousin who had Mattels and television. Like basically like Christmas and birthdays and stuff, I would just sit in whoever's game room or family room because they all had like consoles that I didn't have. So I'd get to play in television. I'd get to play, they're your cousins. They've had it forever. They're bored with it. So they don't care if you mess with it. So yeah, ColecoVision, television, in television, intelligent television.
Yeah, Matt, I remember that too. Like it was I was gonna say something, I lost my train of thought. Oh, back in the day, I thought Donkey Kong was the original. Well, it is the original Donkey Kong, but down in Zares, when Zares was around still, they had their line of arcade games like up near the front. So when my mom and dad would go shopping, would go grocery shopping, I'd go over to Zares and play games. And it was called Crazy Kong. Somebody ripped off Nintendo's Donkey Kong and made Crazy Kong, and but it was like spoofed and it like was missing half the crap Donkey Kong had, but it was still cool. It was like Mario jumping to get the girl. Burger Time. I remember playing Burger Time up at Top Dog, and they had like the sit down tabletop games. Burger Time was one of them. I'm like, I love that game, building the burger.
Gina had Burger Time earlier.
Playing Burger Time while eating a burger at Top Dog.
I cooked for her.
You guys remember Time Crisis? It would have been like an arcade game. Like you have like this giant pistol.
Yeah.
Time Crisis.
I don't know if I played it a lot, but I remember it.
My favorite is I was about 4 or 5 when this was around. Sorry. They had a submarine game, and you actually got to like look into a periscope.
Oh,
and there was like a fire button underneath your right finger.
Yes, I remember that.
I can't remember what it's called, but that thing was awesome.
You had to actually look in like almost like a periscope, and you're like,
yeah, you were literally like this.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a miniature golf place right where Sheets is, on like where 315 and 115 meet up by the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, right where the new Sheets. There was a miniature golf place there. And that's where I would play. They had a lot of cool arcade games there.
It was called Periscope.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Periscope.
In March 1969, David Rosen said that Periscope may well out in the arcade games. It's called Periscope, and yeah, it actually shows a picture of the game, and you look through the Periscope.
It was awesome, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for a kid's imagination, it was amazing.
They had also it was low key. It was like just almost like Asteroids. It was the Star Trek. It was a Star Trek video game where you sat in it and you're flying the Enterprise and shooting at stuff, and that was pretty cool too. The mall arcade had that one. But now like pinball machines. As I got older, I loved playing the South Park video game because I always would like rack up like free credits. But the arcade up the mall had like the unrated version, and then the one down at Top Dog they had it like they did it so it was like like you didn't curse or anything like that. So I always played the one up in the arcade. It was better.
Jungle Hunt or Jungle King?
Oh, why do I know that? Why do I remember that game? Hold on.
Oh God, I played that all the time. They had it at Sunshine Market, so you would have played it there.
Yeah,
it was popular. It was everywhere.
I did.
They got hassled for the Tarzan ripoff, so that's why they came up with Jungle Hunt with the guy with the safari helmet and all that.
Jungle King, yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, God, it's like you can find all the stuff on the internet now. Jungle King, you had to he almost did like the and you had to like catch the vine to swing and yeah, I remember that. Now I remember that.
It was Jungle Hunt on Atari though, because of the lawsuit.
Oh. Jungle King. Jungle.
The same game, different main character.
Yeah, it was. It's funny. It was like,
Yeah, the Tarzan people sued them.
you made it look like Tarzan. Well, yeah.
Go right down to the yell.
Do you remember
I'm
what?
not going to try to do the yell.
Yeah, I'm not either. Do you remember what year Top Dog closed?
Sometime in the 90s.
I want to say maybe 94, 93, 94 maybe.
Yeah. According to Google, the Top Dog in Dixon City closed in 2000. That sounds about right, because I remember that one being there for the longest time on the
And
Scranton Carbondale Highway.
that was that was on, well, as far like originally that in East End, they were owned by that was owned by Roth. Now after Roth sold out, I don't know if he sold the same, to the same both stores to the same people, or different people bought it. I don't know. But
Yeah.
what
The one
happened was,
in the Pine Mall in Wilkes-Barre. Yeah, probably closed in the late 90s though. Yeah.
what killed me though, like at first when you went to Top Dog, they had a small broiler like Burger King. It was just a smaller version, and they put their burgers on the main, and then on the right side they had a divider, and that's where they put the hot dogs. So they would actually flame broil the hot dogs. Then when Roth sold it, whoever bought it went from the grill to the rollers, and that did it for me. I'm like, yeah, no, this is not good. So you're like, can I get a hot dog? Could you put it down the broiler? The rollers were just bad.
Yeah.
When you have that charcoal taste and they go to the rollers, it's like, wait a minute, something's not right here.
Yeah, yeah. You guys should get up to Dave and Buster's, man. I haven't been to the one in Music. I've been to Dave and Buster's in Philly many times.
I got to get there. I haven't been to Dave and Buster's. I've been swearing to GF, we got to go to Dave and Buster's. We got to go to Dave and Buster's.
Yeah. They
also,
have food too, Jay. They have a kick-ass menu too.
Bartari. Did you ever go to Bartari in Scranton?
No, I still haven't been there. I got to get there too.
That's good, because it's that Bartari is like your bar, your bar restaurant type joint with food. Then when you walk to the back, it's all classic arcade games. Like,
Good night, Victor.
Do you remember the video game Popeye?
Oh yeah.
That's what kind of, they had the old school Popeye, the Simpsons video game, like. Try game piece, keep the box away from the outside. Yeah, that brought back a lot of memories.
How about Mortal Kombat?
Finish him.
I remember I was actually working. I was a manager with the old Arby's in the mall, and when we had our breaks or lunch, where did everybody end up going? Over to play Mortal Kombat in the arcade game. Finish him. You thought it was like, oh, that's
Finish
awesome.
him.
I always played Sub-Zero.
I was either Sub-Zero or Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion. I always played Scorpion.
Like, I'll watch now, like on YouTube, I'll like the latest, like the newer Mortal Kombats, and like I was like, damn, compared to what it was back then, I was like, wow, this like kicks more ass,
Yeah.
Like they did they brought in they did two different Mortal Kombats. One had like the original Freddy Krueger, like Robert Englund, and then they did another one based on like the reboot. But I like in the reboot one, like his one thing, like he'll do his ha 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 ha, and he'll raise his hand and like a furnace will come up out of the dirt, and like he throws them in there and shuts the door and lets them like burn to death.
Yeah.
Arcade in the Midway by Range. No, I don't. that would probably been back in the day where I was living over in East End. So yeah, no, I don't remember an arcade over in the Midway at all.
This was my original
Remember
intention.
Rich's,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Rich's mini golf across from the Midway. I remember. I mean, that was big when I was in like middle school.
When I bought this building, the room we're sitting in now is actually my original intention was to turn this into an arcade and like open to the public.
That'd be cool.
I was basically just I wanted to like paint all the walls black, have it like really dark in here, which kind of is anyway, and basically just have wall to wall arcade machines, like somewhere where you could like take your grandchildren and say, when I was your age, this is what it was like. And have like a speaker system playing 80s music and stuff, and
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
yeah. Well, arcade machines aren't cheap.
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing with Roth though, he owned them all already, so he didn't have to worry about it. He already owned the machines. You just had to build around it with like the food and stuff.
That reminds me, Jay, maybe you know. Gina doesn't know. I don't know. There's a building next to Roth. Well, I don't know. It's not what it's called now. It's not Roth anymore. But it's the same. It's a vending company. And next to the rail cars, which are still there, there's some kind of performing arts building. And it's never open. What is it? On Pennsylvania Boulevard.
Penn Ave.
Okay. When you get to the city, it's the Boulevard.
No, Penn Ave.
I don't know.
Why do they call it Boulevard Beverage on Pennsylvania Boulevard?
Mike, is it by the big carpet superstore?
It's across the street from the old train hobby place, which is still there. It's just closed.
Oh, so you're going more towards North End.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Right before you get to Butler Street. There's a performing arts center. It looks reasonably new, but it's always shut. Sometimes they put there's like a lit up sign. Sometimes the sign will be like lit up at night, but it's still shut.
anyway, what street is it on?
Penn Ave.
What Gina said.
Okay.
It's in the area where like Roth. It's actually next door to the old Roth.
I don't remember the Roth building, but I remember the train place. I used to go there all the time.
Yeah, it's across the street.
I don't know.
Nobody does.
And when I just run it through, the only thing that comes up online is the Kirby.
No, this is like this is called like Keystone Center for Performing Arts.
Let me see.
I think I'm looking at a Times Leader article from like 2 years ago.
Get it back in chips, though, Paul.
It's definitely like recent construction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an article from December of 21 when they received zoning approval to
There's a Keystone Arts Center, but that's up on. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
It's on 345 North Pennsylvania Ave.
I just found it. I just found it.
Looks like they're only open Thursday.
Okay.
let's see.
Yeah, that's what it says. Thursday, 7 to 11 p.m.
And I guess they have an arcade, Mike? It looks like they have an arcade.
Really?
Yeah, like so their website KeystoneArtsCenter.com, and there's a link right on here, arcade. It looks like just pinball. They just have a ton of old pinball machines like Batman, Elvira. Everybody had that one.
Oh, Elvira's pinball machine kicked ass. That was awesome. I used to play that down Shooters.
Yeah.
It was called, well, it was the old R bar on Scott Street, but it would end up being called Shooters. They had Elvira.
Yeah.
I'd play that thing. Like, I'd have like, there was a table next to it. I've had like quarter and my beer. Like, and they'd be like, Jay, you want another beer? Yeah, playing Elvira.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I love the
actually,
Elvira machine.
that arcade says it's coming soon.
Oh yeah, coming soon. Oh wow, Terminator 3 pinball. That's awesome. Star Wars Episode 1. Wow. Damn.
No, I liked up in the arcade the Star Wars, the Star Wars game where you either fight on A New Hope, Hoth, or Return of the Jedi. That was pretty cool. You had to,
I like the old school one. We had to like do the Death Star run in an X-wing.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Use
one
the Force, Luke.
Hit the button and just shot and blew it up. Yeah, that was a standing machine. I remember right.
Yeah. Yeah, that Keystone Performing Arts Center. It's like I drive by it all the time because I live in North End. And every time I drive by it, it's like, what the hell is that? Why is it never open? It looks like it was like recent construction.
And what if they're waiting on like zoning and permits and shit?
It's just nuts that the thing just sits there idle.
Mike and Gina, as loyal Wilkes-Barrians, you guys think they'll ever do anything with the old Iram Temple downtown? I know they want to try to remodel that and convert it into a concert venue. That'd be a kick-ass venue.
I think they're working on it right now.
I don't know if they are. What I saw was when somebody went in and did kind of like a ghost hunting thing.
Yeah.
And it was pretty bad in there.
Yeah, it was really falling apart inside.
They're supposed to be over in Pittston. They're supposed to be doing where the grocery store was. They're supposed to be making that into like some type of arts or
the American Theater. I think they're trying to bring back the American. That was a Pittston theater like back in the 50s, 60s. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I got tagged in a post. Hey, FP, remember when we went to see Tracy, went up to her house and was it Music? We did that home investigation. I just got tagged in it from Tracy. This is my home. Thanks again to Jay for the great experience. It made me feel a lot that knowing Bob was. Yeah, we have to do that. Tracy, if you're watching us, thank you. Appreciate that. And we were glad we can do it. A little background. One of my friends on Facebook, her husband just recently passed away. I think now it's been probably it's been a year now, but so maybe about a year and a half he passed away. And she always thought that she felt his presence in the house. And me and FP went. We were invited to come out to see if we could like catch anything, and we caught some small things that could possibly, that could relate. So she was happy, we were happy. But yeah, so thank you, Tracy, if you're watching the show. We're glad we were able to come out there and help you and do that for you. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I was going to see how many. I was just trying to see if I could see how many people I caught that. So what did I say last time? It was 35 people that were watching my profile, watching the show. Did I say it was like 35?
Yeah.
Now it's at currently 48. So thank you everyone who's watching the show on Facebook. Thanks for watching the show, period, whether it's on replay, live. We appreciate it. Whoever clicked the QR code and bought me a chili dog, Thank you. I didn't look at PayPal, so I don't know who it is, but thank you very much. Speaking of. Dun, 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 dun. Shit, I just lost my train. Green Acres. Green
That's the place to be.
Acres is a place to be. All right. It is enough. Oh, God, man. Being in the month of November, check out our November awareness shirt for for the Shop Zone. Click that QR code. Check it out. For a minute. Oh, Molly. Video bomb me in the back.
Riding home to Molly. No, never would she leave me.
We had some singing.
Never take that woman.
Sorry,
Like
I was inspired.
that's all right. Ford remodel, old school arcade, probably. Iron Maiden pinball. I know there was Iron Maiden pinball. Eat Hootersville. What the hell is that? Oh, Rutabagas. Oh, there we go. Okay. I never watched Green Acres until I was married. My ex, well, at first anyway. My ex-wife used to watch all the time, so I came in the room. I'm like, what are we watching? And I recognized Zsa Zsa Gabor, or whichever one of the Gabors that was. And I started watching. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's funny. Like the one part I liked about that show was like, the wife. I said, was it Zsa Zsa Gabor or the other one? I can't remember. She always tried and like make things, but like she was like pure city shopping, and the husband was like on the farm doing everything like that. It was a good show back in the day.
I can't believe you never watched Green Acres.
Well, not until I met my ex-wife.
I never really did. I'm sorry.
Then in the late 70s, it was the Sid and Marty Krofft TV shows.
Oh yeah, how many magic mushrooms were going on with that thing?
Yeah.
Or the Great Space Coaster, how many magic mushrooms are going on there?
Oh, I remember that. Now that I forgot about it until you just brought it up. Now I remember the Great Space Coaster.
It's the Great Space Coaster. Get on board.
On the great, yeah. I used to watch. I thought the chick. I used to watch. I thought the chick was hot. The girl played the chick, the girl in that show.
Okay.
I thought it was hot. That's the only reason why I watched it, because she looked pretty cute. But yeah, actually, they there was also.
Remember, hang on.
No Gnu's is good Gnu's with Gary Gnu.
Oh yeah, I remember now. It's coming back. But also it was getting older. Like, do you remember the show? It came on right after Saved by the Bell. It was called California Dreams.
I used to watch that.
It's funny because not one of the original characters, but he came the guy who played J. Anthony Frankie, who played who's the guy with the leather jacket? The character with the leather jacket. I can't remember his character name.
Bowser?
No.
That's
Come on, didn't think. Oh, Jake. His character name is Jake Summers. Just out of it. But I'm friends with him on I'm friends with him on Facebook. And every so often he'll post something. Like they have like every I'll get together and do like a sign thing, like a meet and greet. Yeah. But they all knew how to play. They all knew how to play their instruments. It wasn't lip sync. It was that they played the stuff. And the one actress ended up playing in Baywatch, Kelly Packard. She could like really play guitar, or was she playing bass? But she could really play guitar.
What about the electric company?
Hey, you guys!
We're gonna give you the power.
June.
You know what very famous actor got his start there?
Who?
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, he's all over it actually. My favorite was like when they would sound out the two people like face to face. They'd be like, shh, shit. Remember that?
I remember that.
They'd have like the silhouettes.
Yeah.
Fudge.
Yeah. All right, do you ever watch The Magic Garden?
No, but I've been there over in Wyoming, is it? Right?
Exeter.
Oh, thank you.
Not that I know where it
That's
is.
still open.
No.
Is that place still open?
It's closed. It's been closed for 2 years.
That's over near us.
Not that I would know that, but
Yeah, no, yeah.
Right.
That's why I go to the CBD shop of Northeast PA. Just a little plug for
Right.
them. But no, there was a TV show called The Magic Garden, and it was either right on or it was on the channel back in the day it was channel 11 on Service Electric. But it was
WPIX.
WPIX out of New York, and they had
They're still around.
Remember they had their you'd call in and like you'd say picks and it would shoot something and like you won something.
Yeah, they were playing in television, and every time you said the word picks, they would push the fire button.
And would
Whether it was basketball or some kind of shooting game or whatever.
I remember that. Sadly, I remember that.
Yeah, and you had to know the magic word for the day in order, like you had to call in, and they would today they'd announce it like right after school, it'd be like 2:30 or something, and today's word is dungarees. Because back then, boys' pants were called dungarees.
Yes, they were. You didn't have jeans. You had dungarees.
Well, no, yeah, we still called them jeans.
Yeah, I know, but they were mostly like referred to as dungarees. You know, I didn't see tonight.
I'm right here. What are you talking about, dude?
Oh yeah, I know you're here. Remember, I haven't seen the Twerk and Apricot.
Yeah, she's not on tonight.
What?
It's because I misgendered her the other day.
Oh, don't start with the genders.
Guys, I got to say, I think we had a really good election night show. That was a lot of fun until my Wi-Fi stopped working.
Yeah.
At least they can hear you.
I'm gonna sign off at like whatever time it was. Then like next thing you know, he's like, I'm like, wow, that was quick. then when you hear, I lost my Wi-Fi.
I was up past my bedtime on a
I was
work
up
night.
all night watching that shit. I was like, I couldn't turn it off.
Me too, man. I was
watching Steven Crowder.
It was such a close race all night. It was very, very close.
And then,
yeah,
but yeah, it was a good show. I didn't think we were gonna pull that. I didn't know if we were gonna pull that many people watching or not, just because, like, not know what was gonna go. But yeah, it went. Oh,
It went well.
Speaking of, today's November 9th. Okay.
Thank you, Big Ben.
A year ago, well, on December 9th, which it's now this year, it's a Sunday, so we'll have to do it Saturday. We'll mark the 1 year anniversary for Outside the Box Live.
What?
Yep, it's been almost that long already.
I look like a fucking tomato, dude. This camera's horrible.
Excuse me.
You're smoking tomatoes.
What?
You're smoking tomatoes.
You're a tomato.
I know.
You son of a...
And it's funny because me and FP decided we're going to do a live show. We were
I'm
doing
too
recording.
cold. I gotta stay inside. Woo.
Yeah, it's too cold. Fuck that, it's too cold. I don't like cold anymore. Screw it, I'll admit it today. So our first live show, I had my camcorder recorded so we could edit for the video because I hate how the cell phone like did kind of that stupid view thing, and so I'd go live. I'd have my cell phone here, my camcorder here. And that was our first live taping, our first live show. Yeah, it's going to be a year on December 9th.
Yeah.
A whole year. So that was a little info I'd like to share with the world.
And only one of our videos got over 1,000 views, and it was the popcorn one.
Really?
Yeah, I keep telling you that you don't listen to me.
I don't remember you telling me. Maybe the mushrooms. I don't know. No.
You're a mushroom?
Yeah. Or maybe it was that chocolate you gave me from CBD months.
I'll give you more.
Yeah, I know.
I'll give you more.
It's Then we did the Takis review, which man that was hot. Literally.
It's
No, but it was
revealing.
a popcorn episode that got us like 1,200 views.
And it was just like regular popcorn. It wasn't like no like.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's the algorithm.
Well, the election show, we had a ton of trolls.
Yeah, we did.
That was fun.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, I don't see the twerking apricot. Damn.
He's here?
No,
Or it's here?
no, she's not.
There? Them? I don't know.
Well, we're live on my channel, so that's where she comes in from.
Dude, I was watching this video, right? And this business owner, I guess, only had a bathroom for men and women. And I guess this person went in there, and since they didn't have a bathroom that was appropriate from there, I guess they were forced to use the men's bathroom, but they refused to use the toilet and pissed in the garbage can.
Oh. All right.
That's how you're
Interesting.
supposed to do it, isn't it?
Like, that's fucked up.
I'm thinking this person identified as a koala bear or something.
So, one of the things, whatever they're looking at, I don't know. Maybe.
You mean you don't have eucalyptus leaves on the menu?
No.
That's racist. That's racist and it's fascist.
It could be sexist a little bit.
Definitely non-binary.
And they kept talking about a socket. I guess a socket maybe is there a term for a toilet? Because they said they didn't provide me my socket. I'm like, what the fuck is a socket? Like a wall socket? Like, what are you looking at? You trying to plug something in? I don't know what he was talking about.
It was. I was watching on YouTube. Now I'm still. This has to be scripted. I mean, because some of the stuff is just so off the wall. But it's Judge Porter, and there was a guy that came in the courtroom, and he was actually like. He said he wanted to be recognized as a horse.
There you go.
Literally, he had like a horse's head, like a mask, like horse, and he had over his hands like would be for the hooves. And Judge Porter walks in, and he's looking like the look on his face was, "What the hell am I looking at?" Like, you want to be
humanity's going.
Should have Joe Biden come in and smack him on the ass.
It's
Want to be treated like a horse? Okay. Now run.
Dark face ponytail.
guys. What do you think of the best movie ever made?
Best movie ever made.
I can give you my favorite movie. I don't know if it's the best one ever made, but my favorite movie is Sideways with Paul Giamatti. That's my favorite movie.
Mine is The Empty Mirror.
I love that movie so much.
Mine is Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Yes. Very good movie.
I have to say, the best. I don't know if this is like. This was ranked as a really good movie. And I don't know if it was ranked as the best, but Full Metal Jacket has to be one of the that I like one of the best like drama. I don't even call it drama.
Good Kubrick film.
Yeah, that's a heavy movie. That's a good one.
Should see some of the deleted scenes.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
There's a scene that was deleted. It was considered too intense, where the soldiers were playing soccer, and when they zoomed in, it's shown that they're using the head of a North Vietnamese man as the soccer ball.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I guess they kind of that would have been a little bit yeah, that wouldn't have been good if they showed that during the movie. Like, yeah, that would.
I think that actually made it to a preview.
One way to score a point.
That's probably when they pulled it right after the preview because they probably think, "Oh crap." I'll have to see if I can.
Test audiences were not pleased.
My dad was a Marine at Paris and went through Paris Island, and he said at first, before I realized that the DI who played it was an actual DI, he even said he's like made a comment like, you know, that this guy had to be a drill instructor because like you cannot act that, you cannot pull that out. It's like that he had to be a DI, and he said he told me that. No, he told me he never partaked in one, but the blanket parties were in the movie. They put bars of soap and wrapped soap in their towels. Well, they said what they used to do was they'd take their locks off their Foot Locker and use those.
Ooh.
Yeah, I asked him once. I said, "Did you ever, he's partaken one?" He's like, "No," but he said they got pretty brutal. I don't know if they can even do, like, if they do a blanket party. I think they get their asses in deep shit. I don't think they can even do those anymore, or supposed to do them anymore.
Jay, was your dad in Vietnam or World War II or?
He almost.
Well, his dad would be way too young for World War II.
Yeah, he almost. He was a Marine during Vietnam. Now he didn't go to Vietnam because at the time he just married my mom, and he changed his status from single to married. So at that point, from what he told me was, they took all the single people first. Like his buddy ended up getting married, but never changed his status. So his buddy got pulled, never heard from him again. So chances are he probably died over there. But what they were doing was, if you were listed as single, you got kind of drafted for NAM first. If they got too bad, where it got really bad, if you were married, like the married guys were going to get pulled too, but he never had to go. And he was a Marine during it, but not in over there.
Yeah.
My brother.
World War II got so bad. Like when you see like in films, things like The Dirty Dozen and stuff like that. That was true. They got to the point where they were drafting men in their 40s, and they weren't doing so well, of course, because they're men in their 40s.
Right.
So they started drafting guys out of prison. They took murderers first, guys that weren't afraid to kill. And they more or less said, you come out of this without, fragging your superior officer or something. You get in there, you fight well and everything. We'll give you a full pardon. You'll get released when you come back to the world. They were pulling guys. That's how far down the draft got, where they were drafting guys in their 40s, and they were drafting people out of jail to go and fight Germans.
Yeah, man.
It's now my brother-in-law. I had two brother-in-laws. My oldest sister's husband passed away, but he was a sharp. I believe he was from what I heard, I think he was a sniper. Like he was that good. Now, unfortunately, when he came back to the States after Nam, that they think the Agent Orange messed him up. But yeah, he said he only told me one time, and he wouldn't talk about his like. He just said it was just something he never want to go back to. If I remember the story right. But yeah, my dad was a Marine, but he never got over to Nam. Now my other brother-in-law is in the Guard, and he's done a few Iraq tours. He was over to Qatar. His last before he retired out, his last position was over at Qatar. But yeah, so he's retired out now. He's done. He's like he was in there probably for a good 40 years in the Guard.
Wow.
But it's like
Yeah, both my grandfathers, both deceased, but they were in the service during the Korean War in the early 50s. So too young for World War II, and I guess too old for Vietnam. But yeah, they were in during Korean War.
Korean War actually never ended. Technically, it's still going on.
technically.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. Yep.
Jay, were you in the service? Croatia
No.
would like to know.
No, I was not. Not that I if I got drafted, I would have went, of course. But at the time, and I don't know if the rule changed. But when I turned 18, I went down and signed up. No,
No, you had to.
right. But then after my dad died, my mom's like, "You have to go down and change it." Like
Selective service.
From what I heard, or now again, I don't know if it's still to this date, but if like you were the only male in your family, unless it got really bad, they weren't going to take you because you were the last of your family line. But I don't know how true that is.
They didn't take my grandfather during World War II because he was the breadwinner. Like he had 5 girls. He was married. He had 5 girls. Well, technically 6. And they couldn't take him because like he was the sole income for the family. He was a coal miner.
Yeah, that's
So.
My dad's grandfather was a baker. Used to actually be a baker for Nardone's back in the day, like way back in like the 60s. Like it was funny because my dad always told me. I remember meeting my grandfather once on my dad's side, and like if somebody was getting married in the family, you never had to worry about buying buying a wedding cake. He would make it for you, and not just like we're talking like a 3-4 tier cake. None of this like just shoot stuff. He was a really good baker, and it was funny because years later, when I was still living in East End, which I think now ended up in the possession of my oldest sister, but my grandfather's recipe book of all his stuff, but the recipes were like for making for 30 people, not just like 1 or 2 people. So yeah. And my mother's father, he was in the coal mines, like most of them back then. I remember my like I said, my grandmother, my father's side, died when I was still like right after I was born. So I never saw her or remembered her anyway. My grandfather, I vaguely remember, but like my mom's parents, I remember. And me and my grandfather on my mom's side, they grew up in Plymouth. So he would take me for a walk. They lived on the corner of Shawnee Ave and Academy Street. It's a double block. It's still there today. But across Shawnee Ave, back there was like woods. And so me and my grandpa would take a walk through there, and he would show me. He gave me a magnet on a piece of string, and we go looking for aluminum cans. And then, he would take them, and he'd actually give me like a quarter or 50 cents. I thought, oh wow, this is big. Whatever you got, he'd give me like a quarter or something. Saving Private Ryan was good. Croatia, I would be scared shitless myself.
I had an uncle who fought in World War II. He suffered what back then they called it shell shock. He suffered like PTSD. He suffered horrible shell shock the rest of his life. He was sitting in a tavern. No, he fought in the German theater. He fought in Germany.
Okay.
He was sitting in a tavern with all his buddies, like on some R&R. Germans kicked the door in, saw American soldiers, and just opened fire. Killed. They were at a round table. They just shot them all, slaughtered all of his friends right in front of him. He happened to be sitting next to a window that he rocked his chair back and dove out the window, and just ran his ass off.
I would.
He was a POW with the Germans. He was captured by the Germans twice. He escaped twice. He was run over by a tank. Like the reason he lived was because it was raining really bad. The ground was like marsh. It was muddy. So when the tank ran him over, it just pushed him into the mud.
I was gonna say, how did he? But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the guy's like, he has like two. Or he's deceased now. He had like 2 Purple Hearts. He had like Medal of Honor, Medal of Valor. Like he he hated his medals. He never displayed them. In fact, later in his life, he lived in Larksville, which Larksville basically turned into what it's turned into. And people broke into his home, stole his medals, sold them for drugs and stuff like that. But I mean, like he, when he came back, his first job, which I never understood this, he became a prison guard at Chase. And it's like, he was a POW. He suffers shell shock. Why are you making him be a prison guard? Or why would you go in, like, I don't think he had a choice in the matter. It was the kind of thing like what he was able to get with like his veteran status and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, give the POW a job as a prison guard. What kind of logic is that?
Wow.
I mean, he was so bad. Like when he heard an airplane. Now, of course, we live near Avoca. Whenever he heard a helicopter, whenever he heard an airplane, he'd run in the woods and hide for 2 hours.
Man.
When Vietnam was on television, it was absolutely horrible for him. Like he was reliving it. And I mean, this is the stuff that he was willing to tell people. I can only imagine the stuff he didn't tell people.
Yeah. That's
yeah, really.
My dad told me some stories, like going through boot, but like some of the stuff he heard, and like he's like, no, he would never talk about it. My brother-in-law who passed away, if you asked him something, just say, I don't want to talk about it. So God only knows what they went through. Then with that Agent Orange crap, and
My uncle was in Vietnam, and he would never talk about it.
yeah, neither would my brother-in-law.
My mom actually warned us not to ask him about it.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's appropriate that we're talking about this. Monday is actually Veterans Day, so to all of our listeners, everybody joining us, if you get an opportunity Monday, thank a veteran.
Absolutely. Now I have to work. I'm working Monday, so I forgot it was even a holiday.
Yeah, I'm working too.
I get double time for that day.
Yeah.
But it's
I mean, just the amount of bravery that these men and women showed, and it's just unbelievable. I wasn't in the military or anything. It's just a lot of respect, lot of respect for our vets and everyone in the service.
So if there's anybody watching the show that has military, thank you.
Yeah.
And to our vets, thank our vets, because a lot of and you have to admit, we take a lot of shit for granted. Like, just to be able to,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
even like the election last week, you
Yep.
have a right to vote. Like, you have a right to want to own a gun. If you want to, when you're 16, you have to. Well, you have to. It's a privilege, but getting your driver's license.
Yeah.
It's
So many
stuff,
privileges, that we take
we
for
don't even
granted. You're right.
think about it. Like, we go about our day, and it's those vets that that did come back. Hopefully, I know most of them that came back in one piece, but the ones that came back missing legs because of an was it IED they called it, or IED?
Improvised explosive device. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't think of the acronyms, but like uh, when over here in Exeter, it's now Key Ford of Exeter, but it was Barber Ford for years, and
I remember that.
around a certain time every year they would put on their windows, remembering, and I forget, and I'm sorry, I forget his name, but it was a soldier of one of the, probably one related to the family. But another friend of mine who went to school with us, well, he was, I think, a year ahead of us. His last name is Rosencrantz. He was over there. He was in the Jeep when the explosion that killed that guy. It's like just sitting there, all of a sudden, like you're driving, all of a sudden banging, like next thing you know, shit's flying everywhere, and it's like I'm sitting there just trying to think, like, or even like you're sitting, you're next to your I call him your buddy, or your friend, however you want to call it, like,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, like,
Brother. Yeah.
he gets shot, like you see him get shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've seen a lot in the movies, on TV. Someone shoots somebody. Look at the movie Death Wish, which was one of my all-time great movies. Just to bring up, I forgot about Death Wish. Charles Bronson. Even just walking up to someone and seeing somebody shoot somebody, I'd be like, oh my god! I'd be running like to save my life. I'd be running like to save my ass.
I think we had the discussion, but Charles Bronson's actually from this area.
Oh yeah, that's right.
My mom saw somebody shot in the head right in front of her here in Wilkes-Barre.
I could believe that, but also at the same time, oh my god, like I can't even fathom standing there, even like just kind of standing, just waiting for whatever, and someone next to you see them get shot. I mean, you're like.
My brother and I have an
gun?
uncle. I guess it would be kind of like a great uncle who's buried in Arlington Cemetery. He was shot down over Germany in World War II. He was like a paratrooper and was shot down. So he's buried in Arlington. I think we went to his gravesite when I was a kid, I believe. It's kind of like the legend in our family. This uncle that we had that was, really just a kid, 17 or 18 years old. Crazy.
Even like, you get through, you survive, you have your arms, your legs, you survive, you come back and try and now reintegrate back into society.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard stories where, our Vietnam vets were coming home and like people were like throwing shit at them. Like, yelling, and I don't know how true this is, so tell me if I'm wrong, correct me. But that's what I heard. They were getting shunned, literally, from what I heard.
Yep.
So
you ever see the movie Born on the 4th of July, Tom Cruise?
No.
I'm not a Tom Cruise fan.
It's a good movie. He gets injured in Vietnam, I believe. Comes home, he's disabled in a wheelchair. And then kind of joins the, anti-war protests and movements and stuff. And it kind of portrays that, Jay, where a lot of the Vietnam vets came home and they were like literally spit on, you know.
Why? Jimmy Stewart, Mark said. But I like these people fought for our freedom. How could you like disrespect them in any way? Like
Yeah.
I just can't get it. I can't wrap my head around it.
It's just a different perception, you know, with the peace movement, and you know, a lot of folks just believe that we shouldn't have been in Vietnam, you know, shouldn't have gotten involved, and you know, and plus all of the alleged, you know, war crimes and different things that occurred over there. You could kind of educate yourself one way or the other about it, but yeah,
In most modern warfare, we should not have been involved in any of it.
That's what I
Pretty much starting with Korea, and that's not anybody who fought in those wars. That's not their fault. They were either drafted, they were conscripted, they were railroaded into it one way or the other. Because I don't think that most people don't actively sign up into a military to go and kill other people. You know, you sign up in the military because, like, oh, well, there's the GI Bill, and there's, you know, oh, hey, free college, and you don't sign up with, you know, sign up normally. You don't sign up with the idea in your head that I'm going to go kill other people in other countries. That's usually not the gig. That's usually not the thing, and that's usually not why you sign up. But when you get forced to do it,
yeah,
that's not their fault.
right. No, not at all. Not at all.
But
I
at the
think you
same
probably
time,
saw
I
that a
mean,
little bit with like the aftermath of 9/11, you know, just the amount of people that enlisted. Maybe not with like killing on the top of their mind, but you know, just kind of avenging the US, you know, from the terrorist attacks on 9/11. I know there were a lot of people that, you know, decided to enlist directly because of that, you know.
9/11, right?
Yeah.
Deer Hunter was a great movie, Mark.
Yeah, great movie.
But going back to what
That's
I
a
was
good one.
bringing up before, your safety, your well-being is your responsibility. The police only do so much in this country. They can't guard you. They can't protect you. If somebody there's a door on the other side of this camera right now. If somebody bursts through this door, one of the whack jobs from out in the street. If they burst through the door and try to do Gina, myself, harm, well, the police are going to have maybe like what a 10, 15-minute response time. By the time they get here, it's all over.
Right.
All they could really do is say, sorry this happened to you. We'll try to catch the person who did it.
Pretty much, that's all. Like if they, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry this. Sorry that. And now you're.
But if you're armed, and like legally as I am, you know, I have a carry permit. I have all my firearms are legally purchased. I've gone through the Mark over in Plymouth at I can't think of the name of his gun shop off the top of my head. But he always used to laugh and say, I'm on the fast track. I mean, I'm a federal employee. I haven't had so much as a parking ticket in 25 years. So when they run my name through PICS, it literally, like, I've seen guys waiting there for hours, you know, waiting for their you know, permission to buy a gun. It literally takes me, if I were to go to a gun shop right now, it would literally take me 5 minutes to get through PICS. Because I've had because I work for the government, I've had NSA background, I've had FBI background checks, and they keep up with it. When you're a federal employee, they don't slack on you. So yeah, if I go to buy a gun, it's like, yeah, this guy's mega clean. But anyway, it's your responsibility. I'm telling everybody out there, it's your responsibility to protect yourself, protect your family. I'm not going to say property because there's only one state in the United States where it's legal to shoot at somebody for, you know, and that's Texas. If somebody is like, if I saw somebody pulling stuff out of my house into the street. I can't shoot them. That's not legal.
Technically, you couldn't even draw your gun on them because you can get a charge.
If you point a firearm, that is a crime. You pull a firearm for no reason.
It's really tricky. The laws are tricky.
Castle doctrine is not tricky though. Like
No.
you're sitting in your own home, minding your own business.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're out in the world, it becomes a legal tapestry of landmines and you know,
Crap.
there's things to consider. It's like, you know, disparity of force. If say you're accosted and attacked by 3 guys, you're allowed to shoot 2 of them because, you know, that's because you're outnumbered. But you can't shoot the 3rd one unless he's armed.
Because now it's like one-on-one type, right?
Right. Yeah, I did a lot of homework, a lot of research when you know, I got my carry permit and everything. You know, to make sure, like, you always want to be on the right side of the law when it comes to this stuff. Because you could be the one doing time in prison for something you thought you were right.
Yep.
Joey, it could be, you know, it's a lot of reading, it's a lot of research, but it's well worth it because you could not only save your own life, you can save the life of somebody else. Look at the shooter at Walmart in Pittston.
I remember that.
That guy was stopped literally by a good guy with a gun. You know, it stopped with one person. He could have gone on to kill many more people. And it seemed as though he may have had that intention. Yeah, that's my 10 cents as far as, you know, Second Amendment stuff, and you know, I'm very staunch Second Amendment, very staunch First Amendment, because there's a reason why they put Second Amendment right behind the first one. Is because the second one protects the first one. You start giving up your guns, your speech is gonna go right along with it. And that's not hyperbole. There is no right, Mark. There's no right side in New York. You know, there's gun laws are crazy. I mean, I could be in Philadelphia. I had the gun I showed earlier has a 15-round magazine.
New York and Philadelphia, that's a nightmare up there with laws. That's a
well, Philly has. I mean, it's Pennsylvania. They have the same gun laws as us.
Well, it's just more restricted down there.
There's more like parks and stuff that you're not allowed to carry. But say I'm on one of the elevated trains down there that travel, like, you know, I think they travel like to Camden when they turn around. I could literally fall asleep on the train with a 15-round magazine, you know, 9mm on my person. Wake up in Camden and be in violation of their laws and subject to 10 years in prison because I fell asleep on a train.
You want to know a crazy gun law for Pennsylvania?
What's that?
Even you're all legit. You have all your paperwork and everything. Your carrying permit. Even you, if you live within 1,000 feet of a school, you can't have a gun.
That's not entirely true.
Well,
I live near Dan Flood School.
Not 1,000 feet though.
Well, I believe the letter of that law is basically like, you know, you can't carry on. As far as I know, you can't carry on school grounds.
no, yeah, I know that. But the way I read it into it, I think it's deeper than that. I'm not sure. It might be deeper than that.
Yeah, unless you're absolutely like authorized, like you know, a school crisis officer, I think they call them.
Yeah.
They're like the, you know, they have the permission to carry and everything. Most of them are ex-cops. No, walk by schools, because I live near one. And sometimes I do walk around this neighborhood. And if I'm going to walk past that school, there's only one sidewalk to get around, get past that school.
Now, when I lived in East End, my buddy, who has Memorial Day cookouts out in Thornhurst, lived right across the alley from me. And when he used to walk his dog, he said he always took his gun with him. Because he has a license to carry too. He would always take his gun when he walked, even streets we used to walk when we were kids. He's like, I will not walk them without a gun anymore. Because that's how bad it got. I was like, damn.
I have on security camera footage. I captured no less than 2 drive-by shootings on or near the street.
Croatia, I'm still
where
here.
the people being shot had actually fired back.
Oh damn. Yeah, Croatia, I'm still here. I don't own a gun, so I don't really know gun laws. So I'm just letting listening and taking in the information. No, nothing to be sorry about. Croatia's like, where's Jay? I'm still here. I'm here. This is a subject I know nothing about, so I'm just taking in all the information.
Like I said, you do well. If you're not comfortable with one, take some classes. They're out there. I would highly recommend the cabin up on Route 3, up by Route 315 and up in Plains. The cabin is very good as far as, from what I understand anyway. With gun safety, gun education, it's just like anything else. It's a tool. Your guns don't accidentally go off like you hear people, the gun. Anytime I ever hear that in the news, the gun accidentally went off. I think that's a crock. I can understand, okay, maybe you had something in your pocket, like a pencil or something, and it was in the same pocket as the gun, and it worked its way into the trigger mechanism. Unless that trigger is pulled, that gun will not fire. It's not just going to fire on its own. They don't do that. I've been around guns since I was a teenager. I've never seen a gun fire on its own.
No.
Now it's going back to, I'm sure you heard about it. Was it Adam Baldwin or Alec Baldwin?
Mr. Rust.
Yeah. Like you just said, only said the gun accidentally went off. Can that happen?
Okay, now you're talking about an old 1812 style Colt. What he did is he pulled the hammer back, and he was told by the director to let it go. That's how that gun fired. That gun didn't. Modern guns have what's it called? It's the bar, the transfer bar. A modern revolver has a transfer bar, so it's not accident. The firing pin is not going to accidentally hit the primer and fire the weapon. An old gun like that, they used to carry on an empty chamber for a reason, because there was no transfer bar. The firing pin rested right against the primer, and if you were riding a horse and you hit a particularly rough piece of terrain, that gun could fire on its own. I'm saying modern guns. I should stipulate modern firearms. Old Colts like that, or ones that are built to mimic them. That was the case of Alec Baldwin. He was number one. They had live ammunition in that set. That should, you should. That should never have happened. Like they were doing trick shooting or target shooting the night before. So they had live ammo on the set. That's ridiculous. Like any armorer would never allow that.
Yeah.
Offset, you want to, and separate weapons or separate firearms, like the ones that are not on the set. You gotta. I blame the armorer a lot for that situation. Ultimately, though, for Alec Baldwin, if you have a loaded weapon in your hands, whether it's blanks, dummies, whatever, it is up to you ultimately, as the person with the weapon, to check and see, oh God, that's live ammo.
Yeah, I was always wondering about that. Krish, answer your question, probably not, but it's interesting to hear about different things. I probably won't. maybe if I was like in my 20s, but now that I'm in like my 50s, no desire to own a weapon.
Well, when I was in my 20s, I felt I didn't own a gun when I was in my 20s. It basically felt like I was invulnerable.
I was more worried about going to the bars, drinking, meeting women. That was my deal. Right, Molly?
I used to always be like, when I was in my 20s, it's like, man, I hope if you're gonna shoot me, I hope you have more than 6 rounds because it's probably gonna take that or more to stop me. I'm 52 now. I'm not that 22-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Who feels like he's absolutely invulnerable, invincible. I'm pretty lumped up with spinal stenosis and everything. I don't get around. I don't move as well as I did 30 years ago.
30 years ago, we could take on the world and nothing could stop us. But no, that was when we were like mid-20s. We nothing will stop us. Take on the world.
When I was 22, I had a right uppercut that could stop anything. So
then when we hit like our 30s, we're like, well, maybe we better take a look at this again. Now that we're in our 50s, it's like, yeah, no, not at all.
Well, now that I'm in my 50s and back even when I, became a firearm owner in my 40s, it's like I'm definitely not what I was. If I get accosted by 3 guys now, I'm not going to try to fight my way out of it, which in the past I have. Now I'm not going to try to fight my way out of it. I'd rather just pull the gun and save the lumps. Because most people, if 3 guys are hassling you and one of them has a weapon or something like a baseball bat or whatever, if you produce a gun, they probably don't want to get shot, and they're just going to back off and go away.
Yep.
And that's always like the solution that you want. Last thing I ever want to do is shoot another human being.
Mad P question: is Molly a good guard dog? Let me tell you, and even FP's heard Molly growl. Like if someone's walking past the house or someone comes up on the porch, so I live in a double block. She will let you know she is here, and like she has a mighty growl behind her. So if anybody like broke into the house, I honestly,
Anybody broke in the house?
I don't know.
They're definitely getting kicked in the nuts. They're definitely getting a shot right to the dick, dude. I'm telling you, that's what she does.
When that, like in the summer, like when I'd be outside with her in the back, I'd be sitting out on the porch, like out in the backyard, and where did you lose? Oh, we lose Mikey. He'd like come, like he'd try and sneak up on me, but like Molly'd always let me know, and like she'd run out to him, and like she's high enough, so if she jumps at him, she'll go right in his right in his balls, just poof. He's like, oh. So,
He'll stop any intruder right in his tracks.
Literally, but no. If anybody broke into the house, me and the GF actually talked about this too. Like, if somebody unknown walked in or broke into the house, would she attack? Said, FP's heard her growl. I mean, someone walks past, she hits my one rocker, like she'll start barking, and she has a mean growl behind her. So I see. I don't know. It's funny because when Mr. Jingles is here, I always joke with the GF and say Molly acts as more of a male dog than Mr. Jingles. But yeah, it's but yeah, so that's I hate to find out. Yeah, FP be walking all of a sudden, Molly run and poof right in the gonads. But yeah, but overall, she's just a big baby. Like if you know her and she knows you, she's a big baby. She likes to go for rides in the car. She likes to go for rides in the car. Like in the summertime, I take a ride down to Dairy Queen and go through the drive-thru because they have drive-thru, and get like a vanilla, like get her like a baby vanilla. I am. Yeah, we're talking about you, dog. And
You guys hear me?
I'll go down and get like a small, like a child-sized vanilla for her. I'll get a frosty thing for me, or whatever they call flurry, blizzard, whatever they DQ calls them.
No, say like, can they hear me? So I'm muted on there.
Hey, it's so funny in your home cooking shows, or like if you get takeout, Molly's always trying to get your food. She's like
Yeah.
sitting right next to you, and she's always looking for a bite.
See, and I didn't want that to ever happen, because with Goldilocks, she was spoiled. Like at the time my mother-in-law would you know, if she would stop by, she had like a McDonald's burger or something. Goldie always ate it. She always gave it to Goldie. She get an extra one for Goldie. The day Goldie died, like she couldn't walk up the steps anymore. So I had her so I was downstairs with her, and it was the morning that I was going to take her to the vet. And I made something. I had it on the table, and she ate it. I'm like, you know what? It's probably gonna be her last day. I'm not gonna scold her for this. Well, I was hoping it wasn't her last day, but like I'm thinking, well, I'm not gonna yell at her for that. So I vowed when I got Molly, I'm like, nope, not gonna spoil her. Never gonna happen. Nope. So that was good for maybe like a month, and then what happened was I had to run to the bathroom, and it wasn't the thing. I'm like, I had to run to the bathroom. Well, she wasn't big as she is now, but she was bigger than what she was, and she was able to jump on the couch and kind of reach over and like meet. And I'm like, I walk in, I'm like, oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm like, Molly, and then she jumped down, but I'm like, so that's when she got her first taste of dining cuisine.
Yeah.
It was
Yep,
funny,
I hear you.
I
It's
brought her.
inevitable.
She was 8 weeks and 3 days old. She was just like I held her all the way home.
Yeah.
And she still thinks she's that big.
Oh yeah.
Where did I get Molly? It was down there. It was right before Lancaster. A lady, she has a small farm. She was like, she was a Springer. She does still. I believe she still does breed spaniels, but she also had like chickens and goats. She had baby goat chickens. Not like a farm where you'd like like go out on the pasture and do your farm, but just like a small farming area, like off the beaten path. And I found her. I don't know. I forget how I even ran into this lady. I found her. I met her on Facebook, and she's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh, you're breeding. I'd love to have one." And asked her, everything like the price and everything. So I'm like thinking, I don't care. I want another dog, and so they only asked for like $100 deposit, non-refundable deposit. So I'm like, okay. So I send her. I got a cashier's check, sent it. There was a contract he had to sign with her and stuff. So it's the day I'm going to get her. Saturday morning, I went over to my older sister drove down, and I drove down because I was they called her on the way back. So my older sister took me down. So before I leave the house to go get to the bank to get the rest of the money, what does FP do? Dude, I hope they didn't scam you. Now you want to bring that up. Like thanks FP for putting that in my head. So I'm like, so now we go down, and this lady, her name is Sally Ann, very nice lady. She comes out holding Molly, and I'm like, oh, and like, oh my God, and then I was all like, teary. I was like, oh, I'm happy I got my dog, and it was cute because I jump in the van.
Yeah, black behind the garbage can.
And I'm sitting there. So Molly looks at me, and I was thinking you do this big slobber kiss in the puss, and right down like, yep. Yep. And it was how she like after like the first like when they were born, they put she had like a little string around her neck, like loose, like one her color was pink because she was a girl. There was two girl pups and I think four males. So and it's funny because like the first like and so whoever I guess sent in the deposit first got first dibs. And what happened was the person was supposed to actually pick before me, but never responded. So I guess she would give you like a day or to respond, enough time to respond, and never responded. So she's like, "Hey, first, so you have dibs on any one." I'm like, "Pink. I want the pink one." And so, okay. Any reason? I said, "No, I just want a girl dog. I want the pink one." Okay, no problem. So as time went on, days went like so now like I guess like it was like into the like this end of the second week. She sent out a message to everybody. Okay, I want you to private message me and tell me what you'd like to name your dog. And the name Molly like popped in my head. I'm like, you know what? That's a good name, and that's what we're gonna name her. And that's when she started learning her name. Her eyes started opening up, and now she's been with me ever since. Going on 4 years. Wait, when I was 35, I stopped at local grocery store. I was okay. 315.6 fine. Now I look back and can't believe I did that. He would say he had a gun in the pocket. I couldn't do that. Yeah, 52. I wouldn't do that now.
I'm 6'7", and I go 350.
I mean, now if it was like if you tried like if you had like a knife and now how would I react? I don't know. People say, "Oh, I'd kick his ass," and this. Honestly, I don't know what I would do if I ever came in that situation.
A lot of people freeze.
Yeah, I probably would be the one who would freeze. Like I wouldn't know. People say, "Oh, if someone tried to do this, I'd beat their asses in."
My favorite expression, my favorite saying regarding this, I think it's absolutely brilliant. Mike Tyson. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. You think you know how you're going to react. You think you know what? Somebody takes a shot and hits you in the face. Then you know. Then you know what's going to happen. Then you know what you're going to do. If I were in that given situation, I have no idea. I know what I'd like to do. I know what I'd like to think I would do.
But when it came down to it, we don't know what we'd really do.
Exactly.
I'd probably use my smart ass mouth and get myself shot.
I forget who I was talking to. Like one of my friends. I have a lot of female friends, and was this back in the bar days? What if she's like, if I ever got kidnapped in the parking lot, would you help me? I said, Petra, you walk in the park, I'm probably still in here drinking. But she goes, you wouldn't come save me? I said, swear, all I have to do is just nag him to death and they'll bring you back. She's like, she give me like that, like screw you, like I'm like, well, maybe nag him, maybe they'll bring you back.
Do that. Maybe you can make some money. Maybe they'll actually pay you to look like go away.
Yeah, part of me misses the bar days, but a part of me is glad that time is over and done with.
I got talked into going out last Sunday, and I did 2 karaoke songs. I had fun, but it's just not my style anymore.
Yeah, like I couldn't tell you the last time I went to a bar. I've been threatening. I want to go back there. Someone bought. There was a bar on what's it? Exeter Ave called Sliders, and the original owners, after the pandemic, they sold it. They just couldn't get it back up again, and someone bought it and reopened it. And I've been threatening I want to go, but FP's brother, when he said it's not the same, well, I know it's not going to be the same, but I'm still contemplating. I still like to check it out, but at my niece a couple weeks ago, my niece had her wedding, and it was like the cocktail hour, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a beer. And like they had Corona. I'm like, all right. They're like, do you want the line? The line? I'm like, oh, definitely. So I had one beer, and what I don't know what curl, but I got this sharp pain in my stomach. I thought I was gonna die. Like, and it was from the beer, from that one bottle of beer, and I'm like, shit, I can't like really drink beer anymore. Holy crap!
Well, with diabetes, you shouldn't have beer.
Maybe that was that. Like, I'm like, well, one beer isn't gonna hurt me. It is a special occasion, and like literally, like we were out at the old barn out in Tunkhannock. Very nice venue, really really good. Like after the pictures and stuff, like I'm literally running up there to hit the bathroom, and that's what caused my. I know it was my pain because it was on my left side, not my right side, but I'm like, it was just so intense, like my stomach. I'm like, son of a bitch, over one bottle of beer. I couldn't get over it. But what I can, like once in a while, then I'll have a glass tonight after the show. I'll have a glass of wine.
Well, if anybody ever saw the movie Easy Rider, Dennis
No,
Hopper.
I heard of it,
Nicholson.
but I never saw it.
You guys saw me. I was doing it quietly. Whenever you drink, like that's a Jack Nicholson thing from the film. Indians. Anytime he, first one of the day, gentlemen.
But I felt bad because when I hit that toilet, like I like destroyed that toilet. I even like cleaned it. Like I was looking for like going through looking for like their clean stuff like to like clean it. So I was like, oh shit, I gotta clean it. And so I come out. And I go to our big table, and it was me, the GF, and my cousins were sitting like around. It was about like 12 seating table. My other comes in. He's like, holy crap! Someone like just killed that bathroom. And I just started laughing. He's like, it was you, wasn't it? I'm like, I plead the fifth. It's like, what the hell, G? It was a beer. It was a bottle of Corona, and I never.
Yeah, there was a tear in your beer that night.
Oh yeah, there was something in the beer. But yeah, other like, and I didn't think of anything because months earlier I was at my sister's house with my niece and I guess call him my nephew-in-law. We all had a beer at the table and nothing. I was fine. So what? And it was a Corona. Like why was that good then? And then the day of the wedding, like it felt like my stomach was gonna explode.
Mexican water.
Speaking of drinking, don't forget, guys, we're doing. Matt, will you be joining us that day on camera for that day?
You know what? I was going to recommend that. I was thinking maybe he and I should get together and go live. Yeah, because that's my brother. So
Well,
here's
here's a pro tip, gentlemen. If you're going to drink Yukon Jack,
Matt, we'll have to talk
freeze
about
it.
that. We'll have to see if we could just do that together. That would be
What I
Freeze
was
it. It
gonna
makes it
do-
nice and syrupy.
what I was gonna do is put the link in the chat to like join whoever wants to come on for like 5 or 10, to say hey or something. Let them do that too.
Or say,
Now I know FP doesn't drink, so we'll give him some Pepsi. Him and his cursed Pepsi.
From what I've seen, FP doesn't need alcohol.
He's goofy enough without it. Oh yeah, that'd be my second. Would be a German Shepherd.
I always liked Huskies. They're closest dogs like related to wolves. In fact, Skip, if you guys remember Skip's Western Wear, Skip actually owned, it was half Alaskan Wolf, half Alaskan Malamute.
Oh.
And that dog was so big. It had a rattlesnake keychain, and he wanted it. Like it was made out of like a real rattlesnake head. the dog wanted it. He smelled it on me. He literally put one paw here and one paw here. And I was like standing up face to face with him. That's how big this dog was. And that, like I said, I'm 6'7". The dog wouldn't let me leave the store. He was not vicious.
He just didn't want you to go.
Skip had to like pull him off of me and everything.
Yeah, so definitely we're gonna have the anniversary show, aka the drinking show, to celebrate 1 year of Outside the Box Live.
When is that?
Yeah, we're gonna do the drinking show. I says.
What was that?
We're gonna do the drinking show. I says 1, 2, 3 beers, two 3 beers and a shot of Southern. I says.
I'll have my box wine. I can drink that one. Oh yeah, FP. I don't know if. Well, yeah, I think you just might have came on when I was talking about it. December 9th marks our 1 year live anniversary that we've been doing the show. And it was the week you weren't here.
Nice.
And we were talking about we were gonna do a drinking show, but I'm thinking with next month on the 9th is gonna be it's gonna be the 8th. The 9th is a Sunday, but December 8th is the same weekend we started doing the show 1 year ago. So let's have a party and celebrate.
You got married a year ago, you guys.
Who did?
I said you guys got married a year ago.
Yes, we did. Called the Outside the Box Live.
At least you stayed outside the box.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's midnight. I'm starting to fall asleep sitting here.
I'm turning into a pumpkin.
Cheers. I mean, nope. Nope.
Cheers.
All right, guys, again, another great
The
show.
Russian way.
Whoever, for all you that were chiming in, checking out in the chat, we appreciate you each and every week. Until next week, be blessed and stay safe, everyone. Fred, FP, Mikey.